What's happening, lads? How are we? I've got some big news. I have just announced my brand new tour, Adam Rowe, What's Wrong With Me, which is going all over the UK and Ireland, and there's still some European, Australian, and maybe American dates to add. But the UK and Ireland leg of this tour is going on general sale on Friday, the 17th of March, with a Patreon pre-sale on Monday, the 13th. This is the biggest tour I've ever done. There's dates all over the country. I'm going to cities and towns I've never been to before. And in the cities I've been to before, we're going big. In Manchester, it's not the Frog and Bucket this year. We're doing the Manchester Apollo. This is a place I've opened for two of my heroes, Bill Baird and Jason Manford, to be able to headline it myself. It's dream come true stuff. Newcastle City Hall, the Pavilion in Glasgow. This is a proper step up, and I need it to be justified. So do me a favour. Go out and buy all of these tickets. I'm going to make this my best show yet. If you've enjoyed Juicy or Imperious, I guarantee you'll enjoy this one more. Comedy is better live. Come out and see us. Tickets will be at adamrowe.co.uk. They'll also be available on Ticketmaster. Please come and see us on this new tour. Adam Rowe, What's Wrong With Me? I'm going all over the gaff. And if you look at the list of dates that are on my website right now and you see somewhere that I'm not going, you want me to come, send me a message and I'll do my best to add it to any tour extension that we put in place. I really appreciate all the support. Please come and see us on this tour. I'm dead excited and I'm going to make it my best one yet. Au revoir. Enjoy the episode. It might be the best one we've ever done. What's happening, lads? We've got some big news. You might have seen it already. It's been on sale for about a week now. But the first ever Have a Word live tour, live podcast shows, not just stand-up. We're doing live versions of the podcast, is coming to Glasgow, Newcastle, Birmingham, and Dublin. Where can you get tickets, Dan?
I don't know.
haveawordlive.com. You get them from haveawordlive.com. There's also a handy link on there that links to your website.
Oh, and I'm on tour, so that'd be nice.
And I go on tour as well, but my tour is not getting announced till next month.
See the lids.
Yeah, haveawordlive.com. Come and see us. Every different city is going to have different guests, different shows. First time we've done live shows outside of Liverpool, apart from one we did in London. We're very, very excited.
Anything else we need to talk about?
We've also got a fucking Patreon.
Oh, it's Peter the Have a Word Snake.
Hello.
So when you say Patreon, Peter, what is a Patreon?
A Patreon is basically a subscription theme, where we give you extra content every week, and you give us just £3 a month.
So for just £3 a month, people could sign up and they would get, an extra episode a week, early access to public episodes, and on top of that, they'd get a monthly special. The most recent one was the Amsterdam special, you mean?
Oh, the Amsterdam special was massive.
We all got fucking potted off our twat.
We've also got the lock-ins, we've got the arena show, we've got the restaurant special, the footy special, both ghost hunts. But the lock-ins are legendary with Ishan, Jamie, Johnny Bongo. But this Amsterdam special will go down as one of our best.
If you sign up now just for £3 a month, you can sign up for 5 or 10 as well, where you get added benefits. But you get all the content just starting at £3 a month. And that doesn't include the forthcoming episodes. You get the entire back catalogue, every special we've ever done, and also all the back catalogue of the weekly. You get an extra episode every single week. So go to patreon.com/haveawordpod right now.
If you don't do it, I'll bite a child.
So you've got to do it. And that's how we've got to be the biggest patron in the UK.
Biggest in the UK, mate.
Wag wag leads, you're listening to the funniest podcast in the game with Adam, Dan, Sensei Carl, and Finn. This is the one and only Have a Word.
Brought to you by manscaped.com, the very best in below the belt men's grooming.
Go Ed, get on me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, snow day. Fucking hell. Not bad for you. Did you just ski over?
It's actually cleared up by the time I left the house.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it might be bad on the roads later. I've got to drive to Stockton.
Ooh, that's not a fun 2.5 hours, is it?
To host a gong show.
In the snow.
Oh. Yeah, good. Well, at least they're giving you your chance. Did you ask to host that gong show?
No, he got in touch with me and offered me decent money.
Yeah, it's bombed it down last night. Bombed it down. The kids were straight out. 7:10 in the morning.
Not to go straight into a
up.
feature though. Snow, very much overrated, isn't it?
It is now,
Especially
and that makes
in March.
me sad.
Yeah.
Who's overrating it?
Me?
Adults.
I think kids overrate it.
No,
but
it's so
for
good when
kids,
you're a kid.
yeah. But I was watching my kids today. I was like, yeah, I can see why you think this is wicked because you don't have to drive to fucking Stockton.
And school's off, whereas
It's just when adults are putting
inconvenience.
Instagram stories out the window going, yay, snow day. It's like you're 42. What are you going to do? You big stupid cunt.
Oh dear.
Luckily, I'm 41 for the next 5 days, so that wasn't about me. The school's not off. Head teacher's old
Serica's
school.
in as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
No schools off.
Head teacher's like,
loads of schools
fucking
off in
get
the
in.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, Serica's doesn't work. That was the best, though, back in the day.
Snow day.
Snow day.
Oh
I don't
think
we got many off, did we?
I don't think I ever had a snow day.
No.
I just remember like throwing snowballs at the teachers.
We weren't maggots. We just went in
Mm.
early. threw snowballs at the teachers.
Yeah, with rocks in.
Finn,
course.
I don't think you've fully got a grasp on what our school was like.
Mate,
I've
they
got
threw-
a grasp of what you think your school
They
is like.
threw snowballs with explosives in. What's that, lad?
Our school was a prison, but they had teachers
and
as
it
the
looked
as
like
the
one.
screws.
It looked like one. It doesn't now. Yeah, screws.
Snow day.
Why are they
Snow
called
day
screws?
because of
Screw the
Ooh.
bars in or something.
They screw the bars in.
Or they screw you.
Because
Google
they
it.
bum all the people.
It is because they bum everything.
I think it's better if we don't
Google
and
it.
get
Why
our
can
own
I screw?
definition.
That's a lost Americanism for fuck, innit?
What, bumming?
Screwing.
Oh.
I screwed her.
Imagine if you said that.
See, last night I screwed some woman.
Yeah, it's out, innit? Which is still in, shagged. Shag is still in.
Yeah, bummed her head off.
Bummed the head off,
But,
yeah. Bummed the
very
head in.
scouse that.
Fisted within an inch of her life.
No, that's just your nan.
The screw was originally slang for the key. One of the most important functions of prison guards or turnkey is to see that prisoners are locked up. So they're the screws.
Right, well, they should be called the keys.
Leathered.
Oh, yes.
Smashed.
Rogered.
Again,
Banged.
leathered is also drunk, innit? If you got leathered last night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But words
so
can have two meanings then.
Yeah, no, they can, but I'm saying you're throwing
Like
out
doggy and
words.
doggy.
If you
Animal.
say to
Bum.
most people in the world, I bummed their head off,
Yeah.
I think they're like, well, it was just all anal from start to finish.
Yeah, you can actually bum someone's head off without going anywhere near their
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah, that's what I've learned from you guys on this journey towards my Scouse citizenship. I can't say that word.
Citizenship.
Citizenship.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Leathered, yeah, I leathered it.
Rogered.
Ploughed.
No.
Goosed.
No.
Rogered?
Again, Rogered.
I rogered some
Rogered.
bird
No,
last
no,
night.
Rogered's out, innit?
No. Screwed is out. Rogered's definitely out.
What?
Goosed is like
Goosed.
top tier, innit?
Yeah, goose.
Porked.
No.
No. You can't be like, I porked this bird. You'd be like, what are we even talking about?
Tied it
Wellied.
up and put it in the oven for a bit.
Wellied?
Welly. Yeah, that's up there, you know.
Wellied, yeah.
That's fucking
A
welly,
yeah.
mate. Woo! Wellied.
Wellied?
Yeah.
But you come in a wellies.
You put your foot through
Not
it.
fucking
today.
wet, yeah.
Not on a snow day.
Hit them while you can.
There's ice and fucking jizz in me wellies.
Hit them early.
Goosed is the best one.
Yeah.
It's also, I don't know why.
Oh.
I think goosed is like the most disrespectful as well. I don't know why. I goosed her.
Yeah.
Feels like she wasn't involved.
Yeah.
Right.
It's because she's never going to catch you in Duck Duck Goose.
Oh,
What?
yes.
Because she's never going to catch you in Duck Duck Goose, so you've got the advantage. You goose.
Heads
Is
down,
it-
cocks up.
Is this all? That's the way we like to goose.
She's getting sucked off.
Pinch it.
Smoked. Fucking smoked there last night, lad.
No,
Sounds
that's,
like you sucked her off.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
You might have.
She had a
Big
great dick.
clit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think goose, innit? It's just goose.
Banged.
He's goose
Banged.
there.
Banged.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he
You wouldn't
bangs
say,
out.
I
Bang,
banged.
yeah.
Oh,
but
no.
you
Bangs well in.
No, you wouldn't say ice banged. He'd say ice goose there.
Yeah, but if I did say banged, you wouldn't be like, what are you saying?
Yeah,
I
no.
don't get it. You hit her with a hammer. Fucking hammered her last night, lad. Fucking chiseled her.
What would you say, Steve, if you like drunkenly took a girl home from Pop World? Like,
Yeah. After a live show or something.
Not a man, a girl.
Probably best he doesn't have a mic.
A what?
I rogered her.
A Mike. That wasn't her name.
like if you were just stumbling out and I was trying to stop you, like, you don't want to do this, and you were like, I fucking do. Get off
do.
me alone. Like, what would you call that?
Silence is what he called it.
Non-consensual.
You can't say that. That sounds like he was non-consensual.
Oh no, he wasn't capable. You all right, Steve? Well, what a lovely journey around the fucking is it more disrespectful? Is there a difference between if you're talking about your bird and if you're talking about a girl on a night out?
When I'm with someone, I just say made love.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always coming in here and I go on, I mean, me missus made love.
Even
last
if you don't, sometimes I'm like, Adam, did you make love to your missus last night? Because you can just see there's a pep in his step. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never go, did you goose your?
Yeah.
If he came in and went, yeah, fucking, you know, bummed it
I
out
either,
last night.
it depends what mood I'm in. I either say make love or service their pussy. It depends.
Yeah. It's weird because Laura listens to this pod and she's changed how she talks as well. So sometimes she's like, Dan, I need you to bum my head off. And I'm like, cool, thanks.
I want a pussy valet.
That's
£25
I'm like,
premium wax.
What, the platinum?
Yeah.
All right.
And park it as well afterwards. Valet.
Yeah. Give the keys to someone else. What?
Wonder if there's any colloquialisms that, like, you know, like there's loads of Scouse ones. Like leathered is probably a Scouse one, isn't it? Have you ever heard that before?
Well, no, leathered to me means drunk.
Right. So, like, I wonder if there's, like, you know, like somewhere, like, in the Cotswolds or, like, Plymouth or something.
Betting on the water.
Yeah, Burton on Trent. Right. If they're like, oh, yeah, we had jelly bean there last night. You know what I mean?
Oh, we'll give it a right scone. Jam and cream, you know what I mean?
Jelly bean.
It's bum and pussy.
Oh, I thought you meant just period.
Jelly bean.
I wonder if there is any. If there is, wherever you live, write them in. Have a word pod at gmail.com.
What do you
Tell
call
you what,
sex?
I truffled her last night. I think you know what I mean. Nope.
So maybe some farm analogies. What do I like down there, mate?
I squelched her wellies.
Oh.
I sent her to the abattoir.
Oh.
What?
It's a divorce in Cornwall.
Sent it to the abattoir.
I bet he did in a big pile of shit with a spade and got a tattoo on
I
the
s-
ass.
I spread...
I runted her last night.
did a bit of muck spreading last night. I think you know what I mean. Got the old combine harvester out.
Laid me seed.
I mean, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it? I ploughed airfield.
I've travelled 1,000 miles to give you my seed.
My cowboy outfit arrived yesterday.
Cool. So that's for the making love tonight, is it? Yeah.
It's for Country to Country Music Festival on Sunday.
Where's that?
Outfit?
What? I say outfit. I've got a cowboy hat. I've got a lovely cowboy style waistcoat. And I've got some cowboy boots.
Does everyone dress up?
You fucking
Don't know.
hope
Find
so.
out on Sunday.
You fucking hope so. Otherwise, everyone's going to be like, oh, look at that special kid.
You're wearing cowboy boots and a waistcoat on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't break my
It's a
heart.
tweed cowboy waistcoat.
You'll see it on Instagram.
What cowboy boots have you bought?
What?
What cowboy boots have you bought?
I don't know the name of them. They're just lovely cowboy
Doesn't
boots.
seem to be many cowboy hats in this picture of last year's.
Because they've all took them off to bow their head for
The
Christ.
guy on the stage has got them.
And the boots.
There it is. On the left, the two girls have got one on.
Yeah.
Of course, people are going to wear them.
Fit.
My cowboy hats are belted as well.
I'll
It cost
take
me
them
80
to the
quid.
You're a
abattoir.
cowboy.
Yeah.
Do they just like chase cows?
No.
On
You ride
horses?
horses.
No, but are they just like,
They're cattle wranglers.
yeah. So why is that
That's
popular to
actually a
dress?
slur to my people.
Is it?
Why is it cool to dress like someone who just works in a field?
Because it's like going to Comic-Con, innit? Like I'm Iron Man.
Yeah, you are. Special needs kid, cowboy Iron Man. They still do it though down in the south, the
Yeah,
southern
but they're
states, don't
cowboys.
they?
Cowboys live
no,
there.
no, they're not.
No,
They're
but
not.
I mean, they're there, aren't they?
I mean, there won't be loads of cowboys still
No, but
knocking
there
about.
are, but there's no
people
cowboys here.
It's a cult, like, you know,
It's a culture.
it's a
Get
culture.
involved with the culture.
And Adam loves that culture.
It's the same reason we wore the fucking stuff with Isham when we did the Bollywood dance. It's a homage. It's I respect this culture, so I'm wearing this thing.
I hope you're
It's
the
the
only
difference
one
between
there.
appropriate. I'm not gonna be
I hope
because
you're
my
the
missus is dressing up as a cowgirl.
Chasing
I
cows
know,
is a
but
culture.
she is an attractive lady, respectfully, and yeah, I think she'll look cute. I'm worried. Will you?
I'm gonna look cool as fuck, and
Cool
you're
as
all gonna rue the day.
Oh, how rude! Oh, on Sunday, like, oh, God, he was right. The
day's over.
I'm doing a new material night in Chester. I wish I was dressed as a cowboy. I rue the day.
I'm gonna look cool as fuck. It looks great.
What, are you wearing like a plaid shirt?
No, a solid coloured shirt.
Oh, interesting.
I've
Have you
just
got
nailed
chaps?
it. What?
Have you got chaps?
Leather chaps, not to be sniffed at.
No, like a chap butty.
You've got to give him credit. There's some gold and there's some fucking weird ones, isn't there? A chap butty.
No, Maybe like arseless leather chaps. No?
Oh, no, for later though, when it's making love.
I've got blue jeans, of course.
I've got my blue jeans.
Oh no, you got blue. You got blue
What's wrong
jeans.
with that?
Oh, all right. I got my blue jeans. She doesn't think like that though.
That's the Paolo
Arseless
Antini. Blue jeans.
Wait,
Oh yes. Yes, please.
I don't think you know what cowboys are. That's nothing to do with the country music.
That's a cowboy, isn't it?
Oh, that is everything to that guy.
Chaps. Cowboys
Yeah, I'm
wear.
not going to Cowboy Pride. I'm going to country to country.
No, cowboys wear chaps over the jeans. So they don't get fucked when they're on the.
Yeah.
On the,
Do you think I'm not doing that? No, I'm wearing jeans, brown belt, brown cowboy boots, a tweed waistcoat, a green shirt, and a brown, very dark brown hat.
No bottomless leather chaps.
arseless chaps, mate.
I know. What a shame. What a waste.
You're gonna look stupid.
There was an arseless girl who went to my school.
Have you got the fucking things on it, like the razor blades, spinners on the back of your shoes?
I'm not going as Woody from Toy Story. I'm going as a real life boy.
Pinocchio.
I've got no chaps for my bottom.
What are they called? Stirrups.
I'm going respectfully.
Spares.
You're not got
Tottenham.
Yeah.
No, I've just got one pair.
You're not thinking about.
What happens if you've got 2 pairs of spares?
Spares.
Have you have you thought about riding a horse into it? Is there any part
I
of
don't
you,
think
you know when like
you can ride a horse into the O2.
I just don't think anyone's tried.
Jack Whitehall did it. Jack Whitehall did it.
Yeah, I think it's defeatist that. If you respect the culture, you're a cowboy. Get on that fucking steed.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect the culture by not riding a horse properly.
Does it say no horses anywhere?
Yeah, I don't think on the ticket on the front.
Because if you go, what do you mean? It's me horse.
No
say no
arseless leather chaps. No horses.
I'm really excited.
What's happening? What is it?
Nice.
It's, you know the way they do Reading and Leeds?
Yeah.
And the lineup swap over?
Yeah.
So like Saturday in Leeds is
the
Sunday
same.
in Reading and vice versa.
It's just like that.
So we're country to country. It's a country music festival. But they do Dublin, Glasgow and London and they swap. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the Friday lineup is Dublin, then Saturday and then Sunday.
That's good.
Who's the biggest ones? Who's the biggest ones?
Name them. I mean, your household
The
names.
Zach Brown Band are headlining.
Love the
and the
Zac
main
Brown
support is the old Crow Medicine Show. Who were the original.
Steve's in them.
The old Crow Medicine Show.
Steve just loves
shagged them
that-
after a
their
show.
version of Wagon Wheel.
Keith Axe Handel. He's there, isn't he?
I don't know anyone else who's on. But those
Billy
two.
Turpentine. He's great. Old Slaggy Maggie. She's old Slaggy Maggie.
Rod Blue Jeans is there.
Rod
as well.
Blue Jeans
Yeah.
and his brother.
Zach Brown Band is sick though.
They're the ones
Phil
that did
Blue
the Shawn
Jeans.
Mendes thing.
No.
Yeah.
He's like like black jeans, grey jeans.
They are good, aren't they?
I saw that one. That
you've
one
listened
was
to it?
all right.
Yeah. It's a belter of a song. It paints such a lovely picture.
Can't wait for Nashville.
I like First Aid Kit.
First Aid Kit, great band.
Yeah. They are a band.
They are a band.
That's what I said it.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're a Swedish duo called First Aid
They're
Kit.
what the country, the
Yes.
country and western.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're absolutely
Tell
lying.
me my silver lining.
My silver line.
And you know the way there was the Saturdays and they were like, no, S Club Juniors. There's also the First Aids Kids. And it's just a load of kids who've only got 6 months to live, living their dream.
You can all do CPR though.
Yeah.
First Aid Kit.
If you've only got 6 months to live, you don't want someone dying in an accident. Jesus Christ.
First Aid Kit is sick.
Right. Yeah.
Two Swedish ladies.
No, Slaggy Maggie. What? She's
I want to thank
amazing.
Alex, our promoter.
Oh,
who
thank you,
promotes Have a Words, like live shows.
Yeah,
He's doing the
for getting
tour,
him the
did arena.
tickets and
He got
not
the
getting me
tickets,
any.
It'll be Pound Routine tickets as well.
I'm waiting for
I got my
tickets
blue
off him.
jeans on and everything.
I'm going to kill my wife. Press the button. They haven't heard it yet. I know. Yeah.
Overrated or underrated to hit your wife with a shovel. That was Billy Cobb.
It's going to be really funny for the listeners because their introduction to that is the episode after this.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm dead excited. I'm going dressed as a cool cowboy. Like, I'm going to look sick.
I'm excited to see the picture.
You will.
We will.
I will. It'll be on all the socials. What would you go to? He's gone to a country gaff.
Country and Western.
Would you go to like a techno
Yeah, I'd love to go rave. A techno
Festival.
Lads, are you going to a techno? I am.
A techno festival.
Were you a Ministry of Sound
A
kind
rave?
of guy?
No, I wasn't. Bit too not chavvy, but a bit too mainstream. I like techno nights that were. Errol Alcom was really good when I was going for it. He was one of the few DJs that I remembered. I would love to go to one of those Berlin like house like techno places where it's all just like nipple tassels and like Germans going unsk, unsk, unsk. Don't look at me.
That's my
Fuck
idea
me.
of hell.
What?
That's my idea of hell.
Yeah, you're not invited. It's fine. You didn't invite me to Sunday. I'm going to the.
You were welcome. I can get you a ticket for Sunday.
I'm busy.
Alex,
Do you wanna come?
Busy.
Sunday.
Yeah.
A German. Carl.
I'm thinking of making me breakfast on Sunday.
Because I think you're secretly a little bit. You've got a little bit. It's like quiet King Kong, Carl. He's very, very respectful. Very respectful. But I reckon once he got into like a Berlin basement. And there was just like unsk, 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 and they were all just like fucking.
No, he'd literally be
After
whipping
Amsterdam,
each
I'd love to see him on a
clutching
pill.
a bottle of fucking Corona. Going,
Yeah, that's me.
And a guy called Gunter comes up and goes, "Ah, you're naughty.
Fuck off, Gunter.
What are you drinking, Corona?" Oh.
and then a German woman will come over and he'd convince her he works for NASA for a laugh for 2 hours and then he'd just get off.
Don't get why you're here. There's no NASA base
Good
here.
luck on the moon tomorrow. I will miss you.
Maybe she'd enjoy it being wound up. Maybe she's a masochist and she's into it.
Wind me up, fucking.
This is torturing me. I'd love that.
The problem I'm going to have on Sunday is if the stage is like over where Carl
you
is,
can't hear it.
I'm going to have to just face this way the whole time because this is still fucked. I went to see the doctor yesterday and I paid 200 quid for the doctor to look in my ear.
And now it's time for Adam's health update.
I paid 200 quid for the doctor to look in my ear and go, yeah, it can be bad that.
Was use of everything he was cracked up to be?
He was a doctor, I assume. And he went, yes, bad that. We normally wait for 3 months because what's happened is you got a little bit of fluid behind your ear. We need that to go away. Normally goes away on its own within a month. Can take up to 3. And we'll wait 3 months. And if it hasn't gone away in 3 months, then what we do is we put a hole in your eardrum and drain it. And then we just wait for your eardrum to fix. But for now, we'll get you the hearing test. He went, you're not flying anytime soon, are you? I went, I'm going to New York on Tuesday. He went, that's not going to help. He went, is that your last one for the next couple of months? I went, I'm going to Nashville in April. And he went, both of those things are going to be really bad for your ear. So you need to constantly on the plane be like popping your ear and take Sudafed spray for your nose.
Have a sweet.
Boiled.
Always be chewing.
Yeah.
He said always be chewing.
Men off.
Yeah, just suck loads of dick on the plane. Yeah, so, and then he went, go and get a hearing test done. And he did the hearing test. He went, your ears aren't that bad. You got a slight hearing loss. But that's to be expected at the minute. And we'll do another one in 6 weeks.
What happens if you get to New York and the other one goes? What are we doing there? What's the plan? Just going on fucking podcast going, hey?
Sign language.
I have thought about that, Dan, and I haven't got a contingency plan.
Right, okay, cool.
Mine took a month, and it was both ears, and it was...
It sounds like the thing where, I know it's worse, but it sounds like the thing, you know, when you've had a bath or you've been swimming,
That's
and you
what it's
can't
like, but
quite
worse.
get the water
No,
out
it's
your
well
ear.
worse.
It's
Like
worse.
Oh, of course it's worse.
The lack of hearing's not the problem at the minute. It's the tinnitus.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to sleep and it's keeping me awake.
Everything's
Because there's a
dead
fire
loud.
alarm in my head.
Is it just like...
There's a fire alarm in my head. It's not in me building or the house over. There's a fire alarm going off in my head at all times.
It's going to be a fucker if you burn to death, isn't it? There was a fire alarm. I thought it was just in my ear. They're just going to find a
Who's
charge.
interviewing me after I've been to that?
You all right, son?
We found a dead cowboy.
That's how he sleeps.
I'm a cowboy. Oh, you don't want to die dressed as a cowboy, do you?
No.
That's not how you want to go. Fucking Brokeback Mountain on 13th floor.
No, you don't want to die dressed as a cowboy.
No, you
I
don't.
went to the darts last night.
Oh, you went to fucking Harris, mate?
Fucking errors.
It was the cunt you met on Nando's.
Gavin Price.
Yeah.
He is a gobshite. Yeah. He's such a gobshite.
Right.
I got a picture just for somebody. I got a picture so Alex would laugh at it. I let him finish his food, obviously, because you know that's disrespectful. And as he stood up and put his coat on, I went, Gavin, can I grab a picture? He was like, yeah. And he just stood there like this. And I went, I'm coming later. He went, okay. And then walked off.
Good chat.
And then
Personality.
he lost his first game and went and fucked off. Maggot.
Who won?
Michael Van Gerwen.
Oh.
Beat world champion.
That's the Dutch bald guy.
Yeah, he's got a mad head.
Uncle Fester, basically.
Yeah, we had a
His
sign.
head looks like a full human body, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a baby.
He's got a baby for a head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a sign that says Michael Van Gerwen drinks custard. Tried to get on the telly. I don't know if we did.
Great band.
I might be on the telly. I might be on the telly while I'm in New York. So I've got a ticket for the New York Rangers game against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I'm sat right behind the players.
Sick.
Cool.
Are the Pittsburgh Penguins real?
They're quite.
Not a real ticket. I'm going to see that.
But also,
They're a good team, aren't they?
the transfer window's just shut in hockey, and the New York Rangers have bought the 3 biggest superstars in the game, and all the other big superstars play for Pittsburgh. So this is like
El Clasico.
it's like PSG against Man City.
Sick.
Who are the other NHL teams? I like the Detroit Red Wings. I like their branding.
There's the
Toronto
Boston
Maple.
Bruins. Who
The
I
Bruins
sort
are good. I just basically go off that because Billy Burr likes them.
So the New York Rangers at the minute are in the playoff positions, and the Penguins are in the wild card position. So it's going to be a big game.
Houston Hippos are good.
The Houston Hippos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Big Sticks.
They're good.
The Baltimore Big Sticks.
They got bigger sticks than everyone else. It's a big controversial thing in the league.
But yeah, at the end of it, it got dead like England football, and everyone started throwing pints at each other
What, the darts last night?
That's what ruined the UFC for me.
So where was it?
in the arena,
In the arena, and what is it, the Premier League?
Premier League. So
They do fixtures all around the country or Europe or what?
Yeah, so there's 8 of them in the league, and they tour, and it's a tournament every night.
So it's 8 players.
Yeah, there's only 8 players in the league, and
And can you get relegated from it?
Yeah, it's a league.
Oh, quality.
But we were sat on the table on the floor, and there's like banter between the people who haven't got tables. You can't afford the table was like a song, and then they were throwing pints.
Yeah.
But then
Not good chat in Liverpool. guys, if
people
you're
were
not from
singing
here.
"Fuck the Tories" and then singing "You can't." I was like, pick one. Act
Yeah.
like a Tory. Or,
People are stupid though, aren't they?
yeah.
If you've got a
people are
table,
genuinely thick.
don't ever do that. Look at you in the cheap seats. Fuck.
I mean, there's loads of lovely lads, but there's obviously, the darts, any sporting event, there's a lot of dickheads as well. But at the end of it, was like throwing the pints, and I was like, yeah, it's time to get out of here.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just like, oh, fuck it, it's the end of the night.
And it was getting.
Everyone's like, I don't know, when they leave and they feel like they do what they want.
There was the.
There's no trouble.
Is that
constant.
the absolute?
Yeah,
Is that the
that's
cast? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, stand up if you love the darts.
Stand up.
Stood up twice, and I was like, I'm not doing it no more.
I wouldn't have stood up. I'd have been like, I quite like the darts, but I wouldn't say I love
Yeah,
them.
but there's a separate song for that. It's hover above your seat if you quite like the darts, and that would have been you. Like, nice.
No, but I stood up twice, and I was like, right, you've got it now. You know I love the darts. You're questioning me again.
You're making me not love the darts.
Yeah. So I stayed and ate me Cornish pasty. Got a Cornish pasty.
You're an absolute lad.
I'm
And
trying
did
to
you
like
get
collect
shit-faced?
sports now.
Did you
You
get shit faced?
Afterwards, I'm trying to collect sports as well.
know what I mean? Like I want to go to the darts.
Yeah. I've got
But
darts.
like that's why I booked the hockey and not the basketball this time. I'm in New York.
What's top of your list?
Hockey was up there. I know we're going to go when we're in Nashville probably because it's the last game of the hockey league season when we're there. But the Predators who play in Nashville are not in playoff contention, so it might be a bit.
Yeah.
Meh.
The Nashville
Yeah.
paedophiles.
Oh, that's a really awful name.
I've done basketball. I've done the NFL over here, but I would like to do that
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different over there.
in America.
Also, one
Wimbledon?
of the good ones.
Wimbledon, I
Oh,
want
I'd
to
love
do.
to do
That's top of the
Wimbledon.
list.
I'll probably
Yeah.
do that this year.
Wimbledon's top of the list for me.
Centre court at Wimbledon this year.
That'd be amazing.
NASCAR would be cool. Biggest spectator sport in the world, isn't it?
I'll do cricket. I'll do a big cricket
cricket
game.
boots
Oh,
off.
mate.
Boots off.
A T20 game with Ishan and Alfie.
Yeah.
It's just day drinking. You'd have a fucking great time. Me and Ishan hyped that up this year and it didn't happen. We've got to make it happen.
Summer sports, innit?
Oh, it's such good day drinking.
Yeah, I'm trying to collect as many.
Snooker in Sheffield for the World
I'd watch
Championships.
the championships in the Crucible, but I wouldn't go anywhere else.
This going to the snooker, I don't see it
As
because
fun.
everyone's just like quiet, and it's just you're literally just watching two fellas have a game of snooker. There's no like thing to it. I'm not asked about that.
No, if you're
I
not-
don't see that as any different than watching it on the telly.
If you're not bothered about cricket, you could go with your mates who are into it.
Yeah.
And the sun's nice. And it's T20 is basically just slogging it. There's no fucking tactics.
Yeah.
You just have to welly it. That's great fun. And then you're there for what, 5 hours? Oh, that's fucking great. Going to the snooker and like just fucking sneezing and getting shushed by someone. That's a bit more intense, isn't
The
it?
rugby doesn't interest me. I mean, I know we went in Spain and we're big rugby lads, but
Well, my best mate's a Wales fan, and we got tickets for Wales-France in the autumn tests. I would love that. If you're going to do rugby, I bet you'd get in a stadium of 80,000 people
Yeah.
when the atmosphere's amazing
Yeah,
and have a really good time. Again, because you can just drink and you know.
Yeah,
I think the key to this is to go. If you go with someone who gives a fuck,
Yeah.
that makes it more fun.
I want to do baseball. So next time I'm in America, probably towards the end of this year. No, probably be early next year. I'd like to do NFL and baseball.
Baseball's up there.
There's nothing at the minute.
When are you going again?
I don't know yet.
Right, yeah. That's the problem with the NFL. You've got a small window.
Joe Bowles. Do you have to
Yeah,
be
Crown
quiet?
Green Bowls. Yeah,
Do you have
yeah,
to
yeah.
be quiet?
No.
No.
We could just go there.
Gets rowdy.
Like, stand up.
goes off
if
at the
you
bowls,
love
lad.
the bowls. Stand
We could
up.
go and do that.
Everywhere we go.
Watch the
Everywhere we go.
bowls.
It's the bowling boys. Everywhere we go.
Look at him. He can still
And
do
then
it.
When I go
Paddy
to
can be
Australia,
saying,
definitely going to an Aussie Rules game. When I do the island leg of my tour is Limerick, Galway, Cork, Dublin. I think there's one more. And the Saturday I've got off.
I'm coming.
I'm going to go to a Gaelic football game.
Yeah. Very nice. What else? Yeah, definitely. What else? I'd love to see sumo. I know I don't know when I'm going to Japan, but every time a clip comes, it looks fucking amazing.
Quite slow,
if we're
though.
collecting sports, that looks pretty cool.
Quite slow.
What about I know it's real
WWE.
wrestling.
Oh, I go to.
A proper SummerSlam. If you had tickets for SummerSlam,
Oh, I'd go, but like, it's not sports, it's
WrestleMania.
theatre.
If like 15, 20 years ago when we were kids, I'd have. Oh my god.
SummerSlam 92, 93 was at Wembley. It was the biggest thing that had ever happened to me in my life. It was so important. Legion of Doom had fucking gold. Like, oh my God, it's fucking cool.
It absolutely
but you grow
does.
out of it.
Does my head in that wrestling is considered a sport. Because I totally get that. I'm not having a go to people who do it or the people who like it. I get that it's like physically demanding and you have to be in unbelievable shape to do it. But
so's the
winner
circus.
But the winner is written.
Yeah.
It's an
Like
entertainment.
it's
It's a
bollocks.
story, innit?
It can't
It's
be.
not. It's not sport.
Is it legally classed as a sport?
You can bet on it.
It's
can bet on it?
You can't.
You can.
You can't
No, but-
bet on it.
But it would
Finn,
be, if you
put
want,
WWE betting
How
William
can
Hill.
you bet on
if
that?
you want to watch WrestleMania, don't bet because the odds are like 1 to 1,000 for one because they know it's going to be them who wins. So if you go on the betting things, you'll ruin it for yourself.
Oh my Lord,
Yep.
that's
can
so
bet on it.
stupid.
Like that's like
It's
betting on
scripted.
Corrie. But you can do that as well.
You do that as well, yeah.
Bet on whether Les Battersby is going to win the lottery.
You get
You can
great
bet
odds
on
on
whether
that.
Les Battersby is going to win his bet in this week's episode of Corrie.
Yeah.
You can
But
bet
don't
on odds
do
for
it.
needed.
You can bet on scripted stuff. It's insane.
That is mental.
Yeah.
It's not a sport. Like,
It
you're
is-
all dead hard and that. The people who can wrestle, don't come for me. You're all dead hard.
No, they're not hard, are they? It's a dance at the end of the day.
No, but they are hard. They are. Like, they're physically
Yeah, they're-
incredible.
yeah,
but
they're
it's
hard.
not a sport. You're just actors.
Well, honestly, 10-year-old me would have been fucking fuming with this chat because
He-
it was
he
the
didn't
most
like
important
wrestling,
thing
though.
ever.
I tried to like it.
Oh,
I couldn't
even the
get on board with it.
Hasbro toys were the
The
coolest toys ever.
Titantron, mate. Someone brought a wrestling ring in for toy day in school. Oh,
mate.
my god.
The Undertaker, love Macho Man Randy Savage.
I was like Michael Owen when it came to wrestling.
He wasn't a wrestler, was he?
You are?
No, I mean like
You love Michael, who's your favourite WWF wrestler?
I mean like I couldn't.
What?
I was just like, this isn't real, so it's not for me.
Is that what Michael Owen's like?
Yeah, you can't watch films, can you?
Oh, he can't watch films, yeah.
Yeah, how old you? But when I got into wrestling, it was the shiniest shit I'd ever seen. It was so Americanized and everything. Sky were pushing it, but I didn't know it wasn't real. I thought it was real. I was young enough that I was in primary school. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Oh,
Like-
I did. It was like being a Jehovah's at Christmas. I just knew it wasn't real, so I ruined it for all my mates.
But people jumping off shit's real.
Fun kid.
When they jump off high places, they've still done it. It's still demanded, isn't it? Obviously, it's not like they're not punching each other. But
I did it before. The
I can't believe
women
I
were
ever
allowed anyway
like,
in
fell
the
for
ring.
it.
yeah.
Like as a kid. It was like, no, I'm arguing with me nan that it was real. And they're literally going, hey, fuck off. Fuck off. And you're going, You can see it. It's about a mile and a half away from his face.
I love that. When they stamped as they hit.
If you got offered to
Loved
be
it.
one of the people, though, you'd jump at it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because it's fun. But it isn't real.
Mate, honestly, I don't know if they do like a Legends tour of the WWF. I know they've all died of like their hearts pop when they were 49.
Can't do, it's WWE now, innit? Because the Pandas won.
Oh yeah, Pandas won. Like, in my head, it's WWF. I'd see Ric Flair do anything. I'd
Kill a
love
panda.
to go and see Ric Flair.
Which is the same Shagga Panda.
If I said to you, Adam from our tour promotion has got tickets to see Ric Flair shag a panda at Edinburgh Zoo.
Yeah.
I'd be there, yeah.
The WWE, WWF crossover would be amazing. Just animals fighting wrestlers.
Yeah.
Mate, pandas aren't winning anything. Woo! You're definitely losing.
A lot of
to Ric
controversy,
Flair.
you know, Chris Benoit and the likes.
What?
A lot of controversy within the wrestling.
What happened with Chris Benoit?
What happened?
We all know what happened with Chris Benoit, don't we?
Listen,
No
stop
idea.
looking at everyone like we all know.
Steve knows.
Yeah, what do you know?
Killed his wife and children.
Carl, we were doing a bit about wrestlers fighting animals. I was like, this is we could be really silly with this. Yeah, but that one guy killed everyone he loves. So, don't know. Is it right to fight a panda? Children are dead. Hungover, Carl. I've seen the dart. Now I feel melancholy.
I'm hungover.
Yeah.
Is this your twice a year getting pissed?
No, I didn't get that welly, to be honest. Look at that.
You got shagged.
Are you got fucked? Did you get leathered?
I wasn't that drunk.
Like
but I
Gerwin
just-
James?
I had to wake up with a puppy and it was snowing. I was like,
Are we going to get drunk on Monday at the lock-in?
I'm on antibiotics right now.
Mate, I'll do your antibiotics and then I'm going to get so fucked up. I honestly, with the German one, what was it? The Oktoberfest one.
Uns.
So my head was in the tour. I'm free of tour now. It's not for ages. That's months away. I'm getting fucking pie-eyed on the Paddy's Day lock-in.
It's what the Irish would want.
Yeah, we've not announced that yet.
We haven't
This is the
announced that yet.
announcement.
Here's the
We
announcement.
sort of have. I have.
Paddy's Day lock-in next week.
17th of March, 6 p.m. Only on Patreon. Patreon.com/haveawordpod to go with all of the legendary lock-ins.
We're going to have a couple of Guinness.
Oh.
Some Jameson's whiskey.
And we're going to have some baby Guinness.
Baby Guinea.
And I've got this Irish tequila, Saint Patrons, and I'm bringing that in. It's a
that's
distillery
lovely.
out of Sligo.
That is actually Irish. 'cause
It is,
his
yeah.
St. Patrick's surname was Ronald. And they've just...
Patron, yeah, Saint Patron.
The patron saint of
They used to call him
tequila.
Pat Ron.
Yeah,
I like Pat Ron, lad. Yeah, I'm just going to get some milk.
and he had that accent.
Go get some milk. Are you all right? Yes, I'm going to get some milk.
What wrestlers could fight animals? I don't know, but people die in car accidents, so got to think about that.
I thought you knew about the Chris Benoit shit.
I don't want to know.
No, because like obviously CTE is a thing, massive in that, and it gets to a point where they all lose their mind.
Yeah.
Saying, be aware of it.
Fun.
Be funnier when
There you
they.
go. For any WWE wrestlers watching,
Tell you what.
be aware
Yeah.
of the Chris Benoit scandal. Because that could be you.
And if
And your
anything, if you're gonna have CTE, don't kill your family. Fight a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Think about that. That'd be funny. Yeah, you'll die, but everyone will be.
Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero as well, of course.
Oh,
Viva la
God.
raza.
Who did he kill?
No, he just died.
Oh, God.
Is Rey Mysterio still doing things?
Didn't he? He's killed someone, hasn't he?
Oh,
He killed someone in the ring, Rey Mysterio.
was it a
the
fucking? Was it an otter?
Yeah, he bummed an otter in the ring. No, Rey Mysterio killed someone in the ring.
Like scripted or...
Yeah, scripted, Finn.
Yeah, he
yeah.
Killed someone.
Scripted.
Family were
The
like-
odds on that were mental.
Yeah, he killed someone in the ring. There's a fact. 619, Rey Mysterio.
Fucking Rey Mysterio, my missus last night. Yeah, I think you know what I mean.
What other controversies am I aware?
Let's have a break before Carl
Let's
ruins the
get Carl.
podcast.
Oh,
China's
okay.
dead as well.
Oh, what? The whole country? Let's get you a Lucasade.
Oh.
Hey, listen, yeah? Are you all right? Are you enjoying the episode, are you? Well, guess what? Sponsor time, okay? This week's episode's brought to you by Calm. Join the 100 million people worldwide who are using Calm. Because there's that many for a reason. It works, doesn't it? They're guided sleep meditations, stories and stuff designed to help you stress less. And you know what? I'm thinking about using it myself sometime soon.
Oh my God, I've never known anyone who needs to use Calm more than Adam. I wonder who has used Calm. Maybe Peter, the Have a Word Snake, has used Calm.
Ooh, I'm a chilled out boy.
Oh, the sleep stories help you drift off quickly and recharge your brain, apparently. Has it been doing that for you, Peter?
Oh, fucking right, mate. I don't know why
It's
my
also great
accent's
for getting the
changed.
kids to sleep. You've got kids, haven't you, since your wife left you with all the eggs? Single father.
I have got kids, little cunts.
You can rest assured by getting the sleep that you need. Go to calm.com/weird. You get a special offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription, and new content is added every week, so relax. Calm's got everything you need for a healthier and happier you.
That's calm.com/word.
Yes, they can fucking spell, Dan.
You're 40% off for unlimited access to Calm's
working.
library.
Even the advert's working on him. He's calmer.
Calm.com/word. Oh, Lord. Dan's in a mood.
Just slightly hungry. Slightly hungry.
Dan's in a
When I'm in a natural mood, no one calls me on it. When I'm not in a mood, everyone's like, he's in a mood. He's in a weird one.
No, we know when you're in a mood and when you're like untouchable, like when it's just like, don't go near Dan.
Untouchable.
Remember that time you riff in? It's horrible.
That was
I don't want to see that again,
disgrace,
do we?
that.
I still got a mark.
Hit him.
No.
Oh, sorry. I
You
thought you meant...
sweeped his legs in for an elbow, dropped him because you didn't sub a clip on time.
Yeah, that sounds like me, doesn't it? I'm a fucking ball breaker for that. And that's just because I hadn't had a bag of hula hoops.
Yeah.
Should have just given me fucking
You get
snacks.
testy when you're hungry, don't you?
That would do my head in if I was happy.
How's everything at home? Is everything all right? Because
I'm not
you
getting...
come in with a weird energy.
I'm not
tonight.
getting snacks.
It looks like you're drinking terps as well.
Those bottles do look like tapes. I always think that.
It is terps.
Terp
I'm going to fire breathe.
Ooh.
It's Billy Turpentine merch.
And we've got some questions. Would you like them? Josh Reynolds says, I know Dan's tour is already announced and Adam's tour is about to be announced. I'll be getting tickets for both for Leicester. What's the tour date you're most looking forward to and why?
Well,
When
I'm
is
glad
yours
you
announced?
asked. Well, it's out now. Like by the time this episode goes out.
Yep.
Oh no, so this is going out tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow, sorry, no, so no.
For Patreons. So the Patreon pre-sale is Monday, the 13th of March. General sale is the 17th, and the pre-sale's limited because the venues. Can we just be honest? A lot of venues in this country are stupid cunts and don't know what they're fucking doing.
Whoa, careful.
Get that apology ready.
No, I'm not being specific.
I was.
Ready? Some venues are like, right, we've got 1,000 seats, and we know you'd probably sell that out on your pre-sale. But why would we want that? Here's 200, and we'll put the rest on general sale.
We have a mailing list.
The Philharmonic did that last year. They were like, you can't have the whole tickets for the pre-sale. No, we've got a mailing list. Do you know how many tickets they sold me on their pre-sale?
4,270.
Zero.
Oh, zero.
Zero, I think.
I think it was 2.
Pathetic. So the Patreon pre-sale is limited, but then there's more tickets going on sale on Friday. The date I'm most looking forward to, there's 2. I'm doing the Liverpool Empire, where we're taping the special. That's in March next year. The big one for me is the Manchester Apollo.
Yeah.
It's the biggest date on the tour.
gaff.
It's bigger than Liverpool. And I've done it 3 times before. I opened for Bill Burr there, Jason Manford, and I've done a charity gig there. It's just so cool to be headlining the big theatres that I've opened for other people at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This tour is such a massive step up. And I just hope everyone goes out and buys tickets and comes to see me in the venues that I've always genuinely dreamed about playing.
And it'll be a year today from the arena.
Yeah. The 9th of December 2022, the arena in Liverpool. 9th of December 2023, Manchester Apollo.
I'm looking forward to the Philharmonic at the end of the tour because of you and because of you guys. Liverpool has become my biggest seller. Obviously, this pod is Liverpool based, in it, and a lot of the lids are in and around Merseyside. And obviously, having seen you do tour dates at the Phil, and then to within a year be doing it on my own tour is fucking amazing. But it's weird how you have affection for. It's not even about size. There's some places I'm looking for, like Cardiff was amazing, and Glasgow's amazing, and just being in Belfast and Dublin is
Don't get me wrong, I'm
quality.
looking forward to this whole... like, every venue I'm doing is completely a level up from before, apart from London, where I'm doing Leicester Square Theatre again, because I love the room, and I think it's right for me in London for now. We're just going to do a couple more shows there, I think, if the first 2 that go on sale sell out. I'm looking forward to all of them, but, like, to answer that question, I can't look past the Manchester Apollo, where I opened for 2 of my genuine heroes.
I'd love to be there. I think I might come and watch.
Carl, what about our tour? What are you looking forward to?
I don't know. I need new footy. We've got a goth slide tackling tour going on sale.
The goth slide tackling with you just sat on a desk to the side.
People queue up and then we just slide tackle the goth.
You just comment on. There's a
You just
goth.
remember
No,
we
he
are
does the
actually
slide
going on
tackling.
tour.
Oh, are you actually tackling?
Are we?
Huh?
We're going on tour?
Yeah, me and you.
Are we?
Yeah.
Where?
Imagine how
Belarus.
shit that'd be.
I thought you were telling the truth. I was like, have I forgotten?
Imagine
We are going on tour.
We're going on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said we.
Can you imagine how shit a tour would be with just you two?
I think, annoyingly, I think it settled pretty well.
I think it was as well. You
Initially.
fucking
I think it'd be
gobshite.
so shit.
I think it'd be
I'm having a
unbelievable.
little tour at the end of the year, possibly.
Don't go.
Oh, here
That'll
we
be
I
are.
was trying to be funny, trying to have a laugh, and everyone took it really seriously, and you've done me head in. Go on, tell us about your songs and that.
That'll be shit.
Yeah, that'll be shit.
That will be shit.
Are you going?
No.
He's opening.
I'm going.
He's opening.
With footy facts.
I'm going in a cowboy hat. Go on, Finn. You talk about your tour.
It's not finalised yet, but there's definitely a
well,
date.
then fuck off.
There's a date.
Who's
There's a
asked?
date
Fuck
coming in Liverpool. There is a date in the summer.
We've got
I hope
too
you
many
all will
pre-sale.
come too.
Steve's going on tour as well. Shag and What's it out?
He's opening for him.
Oh no, Steven's in bed.
the best bit of the episode.
Dear. All going on tour.
Very excited. Please go and buy tickets. The show is called What's Wrong With Me.
Where do they get tickets?
AdamRowe.co.uk.
Dan.
Do it. DanNightingale.com. Get on me. Craig McMillan says, Wag lids, what's the worst rules you've ever heard of being put in place in a venue, comedy or otherwise? My mates and I went to see Frankie Boyle a few years ago at the Fringe. It was a Saturday night and we were all drinking before it. When we got to the venue, there were signs up everywhere saying that if you go to the toilet, you won't get back in. When we asked about it, we were told it's Frankie's rules. Given that we'd all broke the seal, it was a struggle, and out of our group of 10, only 2 made it to the end of the show, which was about an hour and 45 minutes. I get the thought behind it, but given it was a festival, most people have made a day of it. It would have been nice to have a bit of warning prior. Will there be any rules on the tour?
I absolutely agree with that rule, and I think you and your mates are fucking children for not being able to hold you in.
Alexander's, we did that every night. Every
Mate,
show.
that is on an hour and 45 minute show.
There's no
If
way
I'd
at the
had
Fringe.
bevies-
There's no way at the Fringe the show was an hour and 45 minutes. It's an hour.
It'll have been
Talking
45
shit.
minutes.
No, there's not. They're not all hour long slots. There's bigger acts doing tour shows at the Fringe.
With no break.
What?
No, there isn't.
An hour 45
Yeah, there
An hour
is.
and 45.
Ricky Gervais did a show at the Playhouse while we were at the festival. There aren't all. It's not universal hour long slots.
If he's writing it's an hour and 45, which I don't believe, then fair enough. There should be an interval after an hour, but you should be able to sit down for an hour and not have a wee. And if the act doesn't want to let you back in, you've got no idea how annoying it is to be on stage and have groups of people going to the toilet and coming back. It disrupts not only the bit you get up to go to the toilet, but the bit when you come back. And if more than one group is doing it at a time, it ruins the whole show. So if you go to the toilet during the show, if the show is an hour long or an hour and 10, anything from 50 to an hour and 10, I'm totally on board with that rule. And I do not believe that Frankie Boyle did an hour and 45 minute show with no interval.
Yeah, that's a mad one. If you
Well,
do.
I do, because some comics go long when you get to that size.
We were doing it when people were coming in Alexander's when I was running Adam's show. I was like, if you
But that's an hour.
go
That's-
now.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's that small. If you stand up, you fucked an entire row's view. You've got to come back. You're kicking glasses over. Just sit and enjoy for an hour.
Do you think you'd ever get to the point where you're doing the phones in a bag thing?
Yeah.
Chappelle and Rogan
I'd
have
do
done
it now if I could afford it. It costs you like £4 a phone.
Lad.
You just add to the ticket price, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't want to add £4 to
No,
the
no.
ticket price
but
at this
I'm saying
stage. Like,
that's what they do. isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, if I could afford to do it now, I would absolutely do it.
I mean, if I could legally afford to have someone shoot the first person that acts the absolute twat, starts heckling or talking, that would be good, wouldn't it? Just have the sniper.
I'm
off
tempted
to
to
the
take
side.
someone on tour, like a tour manager, who heckles in the first 5 minutes and literally gets like armbarred and thrown out the room. So that just sets the tone.
Ric Flair's mine. We're going to get him on tour with me. Yeah. He's going to sell the merch after anyone starts up. Pow.
Do you want to batter them?
I would love that. I didn't tell you about this, but last week I did Hot Water on Wednesday. Do you know the new material? No, it's As Seen on TV.
Yeah.
but essentially my set, although it's coming along, is newer stuff. I was closing. And because they advertised it, loads of lids turned up and they went from an early show to a late show that I didn't know was a thing that could happen. And then I was on stage at 11:20. A couple who had been a bit chippy in the first bit, I asked a question, they were the first to answer, decided, and they were pretty drunk at the first show, to stay for the second show. So 220 people, 230 people in the first show, they stayed, got wellied, even more fucking hammered. Yeah, they shagged. And then sat in the front row and were chipping in to the show for the other acts. And everyone was like, yeah, they are drunk. And then I got on. They'd be like, well, we're waiting for Dan. And started doing, because they'd seen the set 2 hours before.
Oh, no.
Started doing the bit. As I was getting to it, started heckling with the end of the bit.
I would have, the first time they did that, I'd have literally been so audible to them that they never come and see me again. Fuck off.
They waited. They did all right. They did all right. But I was getting to the sort of last bit and they literally wouldn't let me get a bit out because they were going, oh, yeah, the thing. Oh, it literally stopped the gig. You know when one of them things happens where you're like, there's no coming back because they were so pissed. I couldn't go, right. I basically just dealt with that. And I was like, are you one of our lot from the podcast? And he was like, yeah, I'm a Patreon. I was like, oh my God, I dislike you so much. You can't even say Patreon. I'm a Patreon. Oh, I was like, you should know better.
Well, you should know then to not do that.
So we just closed the show with those fucking donuts.
Patreons
I saw some comments about that, I think.
They were,
Yeah.
the thing is, they genuinely wanted to come and see one of us and they'd been sound. But don't get that
They haven't
pissed
been
and then no, they were until they got too hammered and then went, oh, we've seen these, so we'll help Dan with the next bit. It's a level of special I have never encountered. I've never seen anything like it.
Stupid.
Did they get kicked out?
It was the end of the show. It was the end of the show. But you know when and I could see it coming. Kay Nicholson was on doing a great job and they were chipping in.
She's
I was
good
like,
there, isn't she?
oh, she's great. I love Kay.
She's good.
She's going to be proper. But yeah, that was so... I've never had it happen. It's so weird. And it's not like I can do other stuff. I've got a 25-minute set that's new. Oh, God, don't do that. God, don't do that.
Yeah, that stinks of poo, that.
Shall we do a top 5? We haven't done one for a few weeks.
Yay!
Top 5? We sort of forgot about it for a couple of weeks, didn't we? We don't want to do it every episode.
Don't want to burn it out.
Top
Burn it out.
5.
Oh, what is it?
Top 5 hangover foods. We're going to come up with the Hathaway definitive top 5 hangover foods.
I think we've all got the same one.
And
If you feel like we get it wrong, leave a comment, both on the YouTube, on the social media
Yeah.
clip that this inevitably becomes. We want to know what your hangover foods are, but these are ours, and you're wrong.
Correct.
Can we also add the beverage that you go with them? Because I feel like it's an absolutely integral...
is one of the just the food on its own. This
No,
beverage.
no.
No,
That's
it's
not
got to be a
food.
meal, isn't it?
No, this beverage on its
so
own.
we'll do beverages that go alongside it as well, yeah.
Okay.
All right, all right.
I'm going to pretend I'm not vegetarian and go back to those days.
Right.
Like that.
I'm throwing it out
Can I
there.
just ask a question before we do?
Yeah.
Finn, if you weren't allowed to do that and you had to go veggie, what veggie hangover foods even exist? You can't be having hummus on a hangover.
Suicide.
Falafel.
Suicide.
Yeah, it's a good food.
Oh, get me some falafel, lad. I'm so hungover.
I'd love a hummus wrap. Ooh. That wouldn't be too bad, actually.
Halloumi's, halloumi's quite good, actually.
Hot bread with a hummus dip, mate. Goes off, you know.
Hungover.
Not on a hangover.
Not on a hangover, no.
Can't have fucking grinded chickpeas on a hangover.
No. Surely we've all got Chinese in there.
But yeah, I think you've got to be specific. You can't just say Chinese.
But I'm gonna
Anything's
say-
Chinese if a Chinese person makes it. If he makes you a fucking... If he makes you a bolognese, it's Chinese, isn't it?
No, I don't think that's how cuisine works, is it?
If a Chinese fella makes you food, it's Chinese food.
If you go to an Italian restaurant and there is a Chinese pizza chef, give you a bit random, you're not eating a margarita going, fuck, this Chinese is amazing. No.
If I looked into the kitchen and I was like, fuck hell, John Chan, I'd be like, Chinese?
It's John Chan, the pizza chef.
Then I'm going to go with a solid down the line, just a sweet and sour chicken then. Really fatty and sweet, yeah. Gets me
No,
going.
I'm not giving you that salt and pepper
Salt and
chicken.
pepper
Shit's all over it.
chicken, 100%.
On a hangover?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong, lad. You're absolutely wrong. If we're putting a Chinese in this top 5, it is salt and pepper chicken.
Salt and pepper chips as well.
They're hitting.
Sweet and sour chicken doesn't come close to salt and pepper chicken for hangover.
I didn't say it did for you, mate. This is my opinion.
Well, your opinion's wrong. We're trying to have a weird definitive list, and you're fucking ruining it with your shite shouts.
What's yours?
Mackie D's. I'm going to go Mackie D's because in my head, the Chinese and like the Indian and I love that, but that's the tea time order for a hangover. In my head, I went to the, when you wake up and you're wobbly, the first thing I want, the like lunchtime, the lunchtime hangover, early afternoon, a Mackie D's, a box of chicken nuggets and the fries.
I'd smash that now.
And then whatever drink it is, I don't mind, but it cannot be diet. I need full, sugary Coke or Fanta. I asked Laura this morning, she was like, and it has to be full fat
Cherry
Fanta.
Coke shits all over proper Coke on a hangover. So does Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Orange Lucozade.
Orange Lucasade's number 1.
Anything Ribena and Iron Brew. At lunchtime on a hangover, what I normally do is go to the shop and just get like 6 drinks.
That's when you're ropey.
Yeah.
Don't know what
I'll get an Orange Oasis, Orange Lucozade, a Ribena and an Iron Brew. I've got 2 different fizzies, 2 different flats. And I just like the levels come down at different speeds.
Fucking absolute scientist.
Orange Lucozade is a vital.
Yeah.
What about a fresh orange juice? That's good on a hangover.
Do you know what I don't like? Is the thing. So, every time I've been hungover for the past year, I've thought I've had multiple sclerosis.
It's oranges. That's the problem.
Yeah.
A big part of that is me saliva gets thick and difficult to swallow, which is a symptom of MS, which is why I was convinced I had it, right? That's why I went for the MRI. Orange juice makes that a lot worse. So I can't have orange juice on a hangover because it makes me saliva more thick.
And he thinks he's got MS.
When you go to the shop for those 6 drinks, you're not fancying some crisps to just... Crisps.
Occasionally, but no,
'cause-
very rarely.
I don't eat. Like, I'm hungover now and I haven't eaten yet.
I normally eat about 9 o'clock at night. I haven't had nothing all day, but I get fucking loads of shit.
Oh my
Yeah, go
God.
into a coma of food.
Oh, I need some toast at some point if I'm waiting for
Toast on a hangover?
Oh, just some bread. Just something to get in
Are
my
you putting
stomach.
toast in your hangover foods?
No. I can't believe you can't eat anything hungover. I'm straight
Sometimes
to the
I can.
carbs.
It's rare though. Normally it's like 9 o'clock at night before I even touch any dinner.
And it's
I'm
all
shouting
right.
out Mackie D's when you feel like shit and someone goes,
Nuggets.
I'm going to do a McDonald's run.
Yeah.
20 nuggets.
20
Yeah.
nuggets.
20
Shit.
nuggets and Mackey's chips.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's
With a
something
full fat
about
Coke.
them.
Yeah.
The chicken nuggets, they're just not too
I've
greasy.
never shared a chicken nugget. It says share box on it. That's a fucking joke, innit?
When you're hungover.
Have you ever shared a 20 box?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
No.
I asked you for a chicken McNugget the other week when you had a $20 and I genuinely felt like I was testing our friendship.
Yeah.
You were
And if
dead
you
sound
go and
about
buy
it.
9 nuggets as well, you're a lizard. Just buy 20 and don't eat 11.
Just waste food. Cost of living.
No,
crisis.
someone else
Just buy
can
food and throw it away.
No, someone else can have them. It's like a fucking 60p more.
All right, you've said Chinese,
Bacon.
right?
Bacon. After the arena show, I went to meet Finn Taylor, Garrett Millerick, Alfie Brown, and Rob Mulholland at the Clockworks. R.I.P. It's now shut.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you meant Rob
Can't plan
Mulholland.
any more shows in there.
oh no, on the morning of.
And I ordered a slice of toast and 4 portions of bacon and didn't eat the toast. And Alfie Brown keeps bringing it up every time I see him because I just ate the bacon.
Ooh, hang on. Listen, I'm with you with bacon, but it's got to be in between some slices.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, what?
But he likes ham from the packet as well, which I don't disagree with, but I'd never go for it.
That's on my list.
If it's in the fridge, I will
Sliced meat in the fridge from the packet. Just
proper cheap stuff as well.
Hungover,
ham from the packet. Chicken from the packet. Turkey from the packet.
and he's turning on me for toast. Oh, my
About turkey
God.
ham.
No, I'm not a
I don't
paedophile.
get it. I don't know what it is. What is it? What is turkey ham?
That's the one thing that TikTok flags, and you're like, oh, shit, we've done it again.
Don't put it in the clip.
Okay.
That's not my fault. That's not my job. It's their job. Just don't put the paedophile thing in the clip. And just say
Stop
it.
saying
God, turkey ham
paedophile.
is for people who suck kids off for a living.
Yeah, it's the same thing, innit?
That's exactly the same. That's how they catch paedophiles. If you're anywhere near Bernard Matthews in Morrison's, they're like, oh, cool, sex offender.
What is turkey ham?
It's
An
horrible.
abomination to,
Is it
to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Is it pigs and turkeys?
I don't know what it is. It must be reformed turkey and pork together, mustn't it?
It's 2 meats. Mushed
horrible.
into one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm with you on
Corned
bacon.
beef from the packet.
Oh, God.
It's a bit much
God,
for me.
you're
that.
regressing, mate.
Oh, it's just turkey.
Oh, but it's the same shape as ham.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Slices of any meat,
Yeah.
just from the packet. Just
Can I throw pot noodle out there?
you can. I'm throwing it right back at you though.
It's a simple 4 minute. You don't have to get up. You just have to boil a kettle, pour it, and sit back
It's
down.
the
again.
emergency hangover food.
Yeah. It's 4 minutes. You can sit there, let it brew for a bit, and then it gets you warm. And a pot noodle for me, a king size chicken and mushroom pot noodle is a proper emergency hangover. Get on. Don't have to
I'm
ring
gonna
no
s-
one. Don't have to pay for nothing. It's there, man.
I'm going to say a pasty of some sort, like a Greg's or a Pound Bakery or something like that.
I love a pasty, but on a hangover, I can't think of much things I'd rather not have.
Not a sausage roll?
No,
Oh, I'd have to have
it's
4.
too dry. I'd have to soak it in red sauce or brown sauce.
I'm starving. Fucking hell.
Mate, if I
Yeah,
can
not,
get...
not for me. A
No.
pasty. There's like I don't want anything too wet either though. Like that's why I don't want sweet and sour chicken. Not that I like it anyway, but like it has to be salt and pepper chicken because it's dry. But a pasty's too dry.
Oh, if you have honestly thought, when are they going to say soup? You need... Come on.
Tomato soup with loads of buttery white bread.
No,
It's nice, not on a hangover.
but it'd go off.
No.
No, I'm not saying I'd have it. But if someone made me, I'd nail it.
yeah. He'd have soup with bacon on the side.
It's a yellow card.
Dip the bacon.
Just bacon.
Just bacon.
Just bacon.
If I can get to tea time, get down to Caspian's and get the takeaway and get a chicken kebab with chips and a garlic bread and cheese. Oh my God, it's so stodgy. Oh, that is so my hangover tea time choice.
I
if
think
I can
garlic
get
bread
there.
and cheese is the best pizza you can get on a hangover. I'd rather have that than like a pepperoni.
Oh, I can't have anything on a pizza. It has to be margarita if I'm hungover. It has to be plain as fuck.
'Cause you're
So a
wobbly.
pizza,
Yeah.
but it's with no meat.
Yeah. A plain marg, but cheesy as fuck.
Something about garlic bread. I think it's the grease. What you're looking for with a hangover is the salt in it. A little bit of salt and a bit of stodge.
Soak it up.
And then the sugar of the drink. Where's Indian here? Where is Indian even in the options for a hangover?
No.
It's too much hassle.
No.
Yeah,
You've got to
it's
set
too
the
much
table
hassle.
up, haven't
Yeah.
you? You can't eat an Indian in bed.
No.
You've got to set the table up.
Also, do you ever spill a bit of curry and it like gets on the dining table? And
Oh,
it's
the
like, is it
stains
ghee?
forever. Ghee, yeah.
And you're like, what is that doing to my insides? Because that doesn't look good. It's literally.
But your insides aren't made out of dining table, are they?
Fact. You know what? You're so right.
What are we saying about sweet stuff?
I like ice cream.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah, but we mean hangover food. Adam, what did we go
For a
for?
hangover, like
Bacon,
ice
bacon
cream.
and ice cream.
ice cream from one of those dessert places.
There's gelato by ours and it's heavy. Heavy.
But it's got to be
So hang
after
on,
one of
top
these.
5 is you've been overruled on the Chinese. It's salt and pepper chicken,
yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Go for it.
nuggets from Mackey's.
Yeah. Pot noodles in
be in
there. Pot noodle is
It's
in
not
there.
getting my vote.
It's so easy.
I'm
You
not a
go and
noodle
it's
man.
just
Meat,
4
meat
minutes.
from the packet or pot noodle if you had to pick one.
Pot noodle.
No.
So is that the stay-at-home option?
Yeah.
meat from the packet.
Yeah.
All day.
I don't think. Well, he's a veggie, so he's not buying meat from the packet. And a pot noodle is
You can have
veggie.
fucking.
But I did used to scrounge loads of ham from the packet.
Ham from the packet's heavy, but I'm going pot noodle for me. Sorry.
I go garlic bread above that.
Yeah, I
Garlic
would.
bread and a
So
kebab.
it's Chinese, Mackey's, garlic bread.
Yeah, but they don't leave the house or order. This is like it's in the kitchen. Pour a kettle on it. Bam. It's easy. It's the emergency. There needs to be an emergency
That's why I
one.
said toast, man. It's just the easiest thing when you're
Pot
rancid.
noodle shits on toast.
Meat from the packet's number 4 for me.
Pot noodles in there. It is.
Listen, I know that I have them for Christmas, but my nachos when I'm hungover is
But you've got to
unbelievable.
make them.
Well, they don't take long. They take 2 minutes.
Orange Lucozade. There's got to be its own
If
thing.
there was a place around the corner that were like, yeah, nachos, and they brought them around in that voice, I'd go there. See, this is the thing, innit? If it's in the house, is it more valuable than the fucking takeaway? Because sometimes if I'm
Yes.
really ill, I will go the option. I've had Domino's where you're like, I don't even want this, but I know it's just getting delivered at midday.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm going pot noodle because it's a solid.
I think pot noodle is a wild shout, and I would have crisp above a pot noodle.
Yeah, it is.
So mine is
Bacon,
salt and pepper
6
chicken,
strings.
Mackey's nuggets, some sort of pizza with no meat on, garlic bread or margarita. I'll give you. 4th, I'd go ham from the packet or another meat from the packet. 5th, I'm going crisp.
No sweet.
Not in the top 5.
Oh my God.
Needs to be salty on a hangover. You're replacing the salt.
Mate, give me a shout if you agree. That bacon is a great shout, but
Oh,
it needs
bacon!
some form of bread or toast around it.
Bacon's above
Am
meat
I
from
wrong?
the packet, and then that's there.
Get in the comments, because he's always so right in his head. That bacon is such a good shout, and you need to put it between 2 slices of bread or toast.
You don't
Come
need
on,
to.
bro.
It's better if you do. You don't need to.
What about prunes?
Well, I need them at my age. Clear me out.
Where does originals?
If you see a man at the counter with Werther's Originals and turkey chicken, fucking hell.
chicken?
What is it?
Turkey ham.
Turkey ham.
Turkey ham.
Or just
I got turkey tuna.
could be chicken from Turkey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your top 5? Because we're right and you're wrong, but let's see it anyway.
Fuck, I love nachos.
I'm so hungry.
Should we do a quick? No, we're fucking. Let's Jim Jefferies is here.
Yeah,
Let's do Jimmy Jefferies.
John
Jimmy Jefferies, which he's never been called.
John Joffrey.
Jim Jefferies, absolute ledge.
Let's go.
Get him on, baby. Hello, everyone. Time to talk about my absolute favourite sponsor. It's Manscaped, the absolutely phenomenal bit of kit to shave your pubs. Do you want me to do the actual read? I will. Spring has sprung, and our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have the best tools for some spring cleaning in your pants. Trust me, your confidence will be blooming like the flowers. Whoever writes this needs to look at their life. Look your best this spring and join the other 8 million men who trust Manscaped. Use code WORD20 to get 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com. I don't even need the script for this one. This is the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, and it is the best trimmer I've ever had. And I might sound like a bit of a scruff. I use it on my head, I use it on my beard, and occasionally I use it on the pubs. It massively reduces nicks. The battery life is amazing. It's a lovely bit of kit. You can buy yourself a much cheaper version from Argos, whatever, Amazon. They won't be as nice as this. It's really well made. And then if you buy it as part of the pack, you get all sorts. The Crop Preserver, the Crop Reviver Toner, ball deodorant, a nice pair of boxers. But this Lawnmower 4.0 is the absolute daddy of pub trimmers. And I'm not even joking when I say Laura's got my old one and she uses it. There you go, Laura. I'm sure you love me talking about your pubs on an advert. Save 20% off and free shipping with the code WORD20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code WORD20 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. So this can be an amazing gift. It can be for yourself. Just lets everyone up their pub game this spring. Summer's coming. Don't have a bush.
Welcome back to part 3 of this week's episode, and we have got an absolute hero in the building, Jim Jefferies. Welcome to the show.
Ah, thanks for having me, lads. I appreciate it.
Press the wrong button.
Have you pressed the wrong button?
Fucking penis.
You pressed the
What
wrong
is it
button.
meant? Is it meant to be a
Just meant to be a
sound?
bit
We can hear
cheering.
it.
Oh, I don't have the headphones.
I can't wear the headphones.
Yeah, I
It
can
makes
get.
me head hot.
I like the headphones so I can hear how I sound.
We
or
can give
hear,
you a pair of
I can
headphones.
hear the
There'll be
cheering.
nothing
No,
coming
I
out of
don't
them.
have them now. I don't want them. I don't want fucking.
You're projecting beautifully, mate.
Oh, thank you.
It's when the guests come on and like, it's not good.
I've known you for 20-something years, Dan. I was just thinking about it. You were working at the Hyena
There's a sound tech.
as a sound tech, and I used to live in that apartment above the Hyena when performing. I didn't live there all the time. That was always a good. That was for meeting girls. That was a good club because you lived right upstairs.
They gave me the flat above the club. And
Yeah.
they were like, it was Mohammed that owned it, and he was like, if you live here, you're so annoyingly into all of the comics and like you want to hang around with them. You can just live here, and then they'll stay here, and I won't have to pay for hotels. And I think it was about 3 months into that arrangement, Jim turned up, and he was you were the first guy like in your mid-20s at the
Yeah.
time, or like
Yeah.
early 20s,
Early 20s,
who
yeah.
was fun and cool, because I'd been like, I want to be a comedian, and then a load of dad comics.
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 months of dad comics who did
We're the
fuck
worst.
all. And then Jim turned up, and then JJ Whitehead turned up, and I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. Being a comedian's going to be fun.
And
JJ
20 years later, he
JJ
turns up and you've still got a sound desk.
JJ Whitehead opens for me in America, and I think he's a year older than me, but he's still that dude, man. He's like Fonzie. Like Fonzie was like this guy who we thought was cool, but he really just lived in a studio apartment and shagged teenagers down at a milk bar. You know what I mean? But we just
Sounds
thought he was
great.
he was a fucking middle-aged guy whose bathroom was his office, and his kids were like, "That's the coolest guy that ever lived." Yeah, it's still fucking. But I remember we'd go upstairs, and it was always funny when you live in apartments with comedians when you have to do gigs, because there'd be comedians you wouldn't get along with, or there'd be comedians that you get along with, but you shouldn't be living with them. I used to bug the shit out of Michael McIntyre, and I did fucking 2 or 3 weekends in that club, and my lifestyle did not pair up with Michael McIntyre's lifestyle whatsoever.
Mate, Michael McIntyre stayed. I can't remember anything about Michael McIntyre. I can't remember him staying. I've got so many mental images of you and me on the piss.
Paul Sinner was always.
Paul
Sinner's still doing that
great.
now.
Yeah.
Paul Sinner's been diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And he's still got that lifestyle. He's like, I'm not letting it beat me.
I think he's married now, whatever. But he picked up a lot of men at the Hyena. I remember I heard a lot of gay sex through the wall. Yeah.
Which you told them on stage.
And there's only so many times I can have a wank before I'm empty and I just want to go to bed, But yeah, Paul. I remember. I'll tell you my favourite Michael McIntyre story. So there's the infamous me getting punched on stage in Manchester, right? And then a lot of people don't know that the other comic was Michael McIntyre, right? So he'd gone on before me. And so the Manchester Comedy Store, there's like the stage, there's this spiral staircase to get down to the basement, then you walk through to the dressing room, right? So the guy comes up, punches me, the audience comes up and tries to, defend me or whatever. I duck out through the back door. I go and say, I'm clutching the side of my head, I got a black eye, and I'm walking down and I'm like sort of swearing and huffing and puffing. Now, Michael was very clearly watching the whole show on a TV in the dressing room. But as he heard me coming, he quickly changed the channel. And when I walk in, the cunt's just sitting there watching snooker. Right? And he goes, he doesn't even turn around. He goes, "How did it go?" And I go, "Not good, Michael. I just got punched in the face." And he went, "No one can follow me."
Oh my God.
Do you know what? Considering he's like the Mr. Saturday Night family entertainment comedian, I'm just glad to know he's got that sense of humour.
Oh yeah, no, he's a fun guy, Michael. Yeah, he's funny.
To put the fucking snooker on and face the wall.
But the fact is, he didn't even show concern. He wouldn't even look at me. He was just like, and then I remember we were watching the surveillance footage and he was clapping, going, "It doesn't disappoint." I'm just so happy that punch to the face happened before camera phones, because, like we just had that one angle. And then if there was camera phones, maybe people would have seen the jokes before or whatever. I can't even remember why I was hit.
Did he? I've said it was very famous very quickly, wasn't it? Yeah. But did he really clout you? Was it an absolute...
it was just, I had a little sort of crescent moon sort of bruise. I didn't have a full black eye. He was at full extension and just went dunk. But if you watch the beginning of it, it's very clear that I hadn't been speaking to him or anything like that, because when he comes on stage, the first thing I say is, "Oh, hang on, mate. I thought this was a guy who couldn't find the bathroom." I was like, "Oh, hang on, mate. You shouldn't be up here." But so here's a story. So I went and saw, the Netflix is a joke comedy festival happening in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, and I was hanging out with Jimmy Carr, did a show, so I hanged out with Jimmy, and then afterwards, Jimmy had also opened for Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl. About 6 comics did, but he did the Hollywood Bowl gig. And then afterwards, I get invited to. They have a show called Dave and Buster. Dave and Buster is a video arcade in so it was a pun on words, but it was Buster Rhymes concert, right? So we go to this Buster Rhymes concert with Dave Chappelle. The height of COVID, by the way. This was just. We were still all meant to be wearing masks. So I was like, all right, I guess we're getting I was the second most awkward person in that room, and I looked fucking awkward, but Jimmy Carr looked so out of his fucking element. The cunt had a briefcase at a Buster Rhymes concert.
Is he still suited and booted?
Oh, yeah, he's in a full suit with his fucking briefcase, man. And then Ronnie Chang was there as well. We just, that grouping, we didn't look right in the Buster Rhymes. But anyway, so Busta Rhymes is getting older. This is off topic a bit because he's like sings a song, the whole room's jumping up and all that type of stuff, and he goes, "Before the next song, I want to talk about something that's important. Get your prostate checked." Here you go. That made me feel so fucking old because I remember Busta Rhymes was young. He goes, "Get your prostate checked. I got my prostate checked and it saved my life." And then he pops open a thing of champagne and goes, "Now let's slap this bitch off." Like that, right? And so like in between songs, me and Ronnie Chang were turning to each other going, "I want to talk to you about reverse mortgages." But anyway,
you're getting old when the rappers you grew up with are giving you medical advice.
Oh, yeah. Middle-aged. So I get called over to Chappelle. I get like, "Dave wants to meet you." So I'm like, all right. So I've never met Dave Chappelle. So I walk up. Dave Chappelle says to me that night, he goes, "I watched lots of your stuff, blah, 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 all nice stuff." And then he goes, "Bill Burr backstage tonight just showed me a video of you getting punched in the head. That shit was insane." And then I talked through the whole story. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. He goes, "That's crazy. How did they let that happen?" The next day, he gets tackled by a guy with a knife at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, shit, was that the next
The
day?
next day, because there was 2 concerts. It was the second concert where it happened. The first concert went fine.
Well, do you know what?
And Jimmy Carr was literally standing next to the cunt in the wing.
So
the guy got to the wing and just sort of...
Not long after that happened, Chappelle came over to do the Liverpool Arena with Chris Rock. They did like a double headliner show. And the night before it, Chappelle dropped in to Hot Water Comedy Club and did like 3 hours on stage with Jeff Ross and had security stood. Like, you're the first guest we've had on who's brought an Eastern European security guard with him. Chappelle had like 6 of them and they were stood in the aisles of the comedy club. So there's people who just couldn't see the show because he's just got people now with him stood around the stage. Afterwards, we had a chat with him and stuff, and he goes, "I want to go and get some Chinese food. Where can I go?" I was like, "I'll take you down the road." And he goes, "Well, I'll meet you there. I'm going to get in the car." And we were like, "Oh, he's just fucking us off and going home." He went to the Chinese, but he was like, "I can't walk the streets at the minute because I'm worried that I'm going to get tackled with a knife again because of the Hollywood Bowl."
Yeah. It does
made him
shake
paranoid.
up. Well... Yeah, I think he does a whole lot of routines now in his new show about how bodyguards are kind of useless. like they clean up the mess. Because I had a couple. I had 2 incidents in Britain. This one was actually much worse than the Comedy Store one. But I'd done some. It was the height of the Iraq War. I think Bush was in government. I may have done some jokes about the Iraq War. I don't know, but there was some soldier who had just come back who was a little... and he fucking... I was just standing at the bar talking to another comedian. I wasn't doing anything. And I was grabbed by the back of the hair and he smashed my head into a table and I fractured just my skull. Here on my nose, because it was hit here, but that's the softest part. So above the bridge of the nose.
Like, do it on stage, mate.
Do it on stage.
No one's recording.
Yeah, but I went down and God bless the British, man, because I was on a work permit. I wasn't paying much taxes, right? I was very, and Jim Jefferies is my real name. My real last name is Nugent, just a stagey thing, when you're young, right? And I went into hospital for 5 days and the NHS never asked my real name.
Don't need to.
Never asked my real name. Fucking gave me morphine. And fucking I was there for 5 days and then I just sort of left like Basil Fawlty with the bandage still around me fucking head.
What a great healthcare system we've got.
Love
We don't need to know who you are. Just have some fucking heroin.
We'll even heal immigrants. We're
I showed
that.
up at the Reading Festival as my next gig with a fucking bandage around my head, clearly with some still brain damage, like I was still a bit off.
Teddy
I was on
Butcher.
a lot of pills. I got a cliche story. I'm telling it on this tour at the moment. When does this come out, this podcast?
Tomorrow and Monday. So tomorrow
Okay,
for
so
our Patreons and Monday publicly.
We've only got 2 more gigs to sort of plug. The tour is sold out. We've got an extra show in Manchester. We had an extra show in London. So if you want to, in Manchester or London, and there's a few tickets left in Birmingham, but they'll go. So during COVID, I'll tell a very abridged version of this, but during COVID, I get a phone call from Rob Schneider, and Rob Schneider was writing a movie with this Australian comic called Monty Franklin. and it was set in Australia, and he wanted me to put some sort of Australian jokes or whatever into this script, and he says, "Oh, can you come and write this movie with me?" And he goes, I'll give you additional credit for jokes or like I didn't write the story, you know." And so I was like, "Oh, my wife's pregnant. We're at the height of COVID. I don't want to leave the house because she's worried, blah, 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 blah." And then he's like, "Well, I'm living with John Cleese in a house in Phoenix, and he's writing the movie with us because John Cleese is going to be in the film." And so I'm like, I want to live in a house with John Cleese and write jokes with a guy from Monty Python. So fuck yes. I just left my wife like... I just said, just stay in the house and I'll Postmate your food or something. You'll be fine. And I drove out to Phoenix and I lived with like John Cleese and Rob Schneider for a couple of weeks.
That's insane.
And it was me, Deuce Bigelow and Basil Fawlty fucking swimming around in a pool every day. We'd swim and we'd hear all these stories about fucking how he wrote the Dead Parrot sketch and all this type of stuff. But anyway, right at the end of it, Rob's mother passed. This is a very abridged version. Rob's mother passed away. So then for a while, and then Monty, for a while, it was just me, Monty, John Cleese's daughter, Camilla, and in this house. And then I went to get a COVID test before I came. And then I came back and John, we've been doing this 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle together. And I said to John, I got to go. And he goes,
That's how ridiculous that sentence is.
He's like, how about if it was of a Hungarian castle that John thinks he performed in once? Right? and so we were like, he was like, do you want to finish this jigsaw? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll fucking give it a go, you know. And so we're doing it. And then while I'm doing that, I get a text. And it says, you have COVID. And I'm sitting across from my 82-year-old unvaccinated hero.
That jigsaw's not going to finish itself.
I just sat there for minutes and he's going, and then Chapman didn't want the parrot to be dead and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell, I've just killed John Cleese. But it turned out it was a fucking false positive. And that back in those days, they said there was false negatives, but there was no false positives. And the drive from, you know, Phoenix to Los Angeles is 6 hours, but the only thing between it is desert and butt-fuck towns. And every single little butt-fuck town I went through, I stopped off and got another COVID and I was clean. So by the time I got back to the wife.
There was definitely false positives in the end because kids in Liverpool were pouring Fanta on the tests because that came up positive to get days off school. Fanta would give you a positive test, yeah.
Orange flavoured.
And trust Scouse kids to figure that out.
Nothing, Dr. Pepper, nothing. Coke, nothing. I've done it.
Yeah, who still drinks Fanta as an adult? Have you ever sat down for a lot? Do you still drink? What?
There's loads in the
about
fridge.
10 minutes before you got here.
Really? You have orange soda? Oh, I don't. I'm strictly Mexican soda now.
Haritos.
What?
Haritos is...
I thought you said, how do you toss? Same as everyone else, mate. Like Mexican Coke and all that type of stuff, they're the best soda. It comes from Mexico. They still use cane sugar in the old recipes and all that type of stuff. And less additives.
Yeah, it's a hell of a newsagent that's selling Mexican fucking pop round there.
I didn't know you got it over here.
Yeah, we get Haritos. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got some.
It's a lot more expensive, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's like American candy stores over here now, and you'll get it in there.
Fuck American candy, man.
Yeah, shit.
Fuck American. You guys, I came in, you had fucking Cadbury's, you had some Crunchies. I was over the moon. I'm taking some home with me. I've taught my 10-year-old boy, fuck Hershey's, son, right? And I only have British or Australian Cadbury's in the house. I'll have some Mars product. If Galaxy gets in there, I won't turn it away, right? But I won't eat fucking American candy. It's all shit.
It's bitter, isn't it?
It's all salty as fuck.
It's grainy.
Yeah.
It's grainy.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of a Reese's peanut butter cup. I like the peanut butter, but imagine that with Cadbury's on the outside. Wow. It's like when I was out here for my sister-in-law's wedding and there was one of those adverts, like those Channel 4 ones where all the bricks fall down into the corner, you know, and they're like this, Easter's coming and Cadbury's really as good as you think? And like, I know what the documentary's going to fucking be. There's some slave labour or some child labour with the cocoa beans, right?
Yeah.
I fucking assume this. I don't need to know, right? I was watching this on my fucking iPad. You know what I mean? Like in my Nike shoes. Don't fuck up Cadbury's for me. I won't have it. Cadbury's has been there my whole life. I fucking that's the chocolate.
We were arguing with Finn about this a couple of weeks ago. So Finn thinks that Galaxy.
No, Lindt.
Lindt's very good, but Lindt's slightly oily. Lindt's a fine chocolate, a real good chocolate.
Nowhere near Cadbury's, though.
But if you only have one chocolate for the rest of your life, you just have Cadbury's. Like Lindt feels like a special occasion, but then sometimes you can eat shit tons of Cadbury's. You can just keep eating it all day. Lindt, you have 2 or 3 Lindor balls, and you go, yeah, I'm done with that.
It's so yeah.
I'm done with it. It's very good, and I think my wife's British. And my wife prefers Galaxy, but you know, look, we make the marriage work. You know, it's a solid. You know what's good about Cadbury's? It doesn't fucking. It's a good, honest chocolate that it's not up its own ass. All the other chocolates are like this. Here at Lindor, it's got a guy with a big fucking white hat, right? We know who's in the factory. We know the type of people who work at the Cadbury factory, and they're not there with a whisk and a bowl.
I think chocolatier sounds really ego-y, doesn't it?
As soon as you say the word artisan, you can fuck off. Our artisan chocolatiers are doing this. You're like our artisan bread. When they start doing this shit, you either make good bread or bad bread. Don't give me this artisan bread. But what I like about Cadbury's is this, like this. 1.5 glasses of milk. That's their secret to their recipe. You look at that bar, it's got a full 1.5 glasses, and then not just any milk, full cream dairy milk. Like, of course, it's like my wife's vegan, so she's always trying to push oat milk chocolate onto me or something like that.
Shite.
My dad gets into arguments with my wife because my dad's old school, and it's like, so she has oat milk, and my dad goes, this milk is bloody not good. Not good. I said, it's made out of oats, Dad. And he's like, look, it shouldn't be called milk. It's not milk. Milk comes from cows. And then there's the debate. Well, then don't call it peanut butter. You know,
There's no butter in it.
What?
There's no butter in peanut butter.
Yeah, there's no butter in peanut butter. It's just crushed up fucking peanuts.
Is it?
Do you think peanut butter is a dairy product?
Yeah.
It's not a butter, is it?
No,
I thought it had been like mixed with a butter.
So did I.
I also thought until
You can't milk an oat.
No, you can have cashew butter. You can have macadamian butter. You can have. It's all.
But surely something happens to it between being a
it's
nut
just
and
peanuts. They might put some oil in there and stuff. It's just there's no.
It's paste.
It's paste. Yeah, vegans can eat peanut butter.
Is that true?
I didn't know that until right now.
He's a vegan.
No, I'm not. I'm veggie.
Veggie. Oh, that
Yeah, that's you're a sensible fella.
Yeah.
You're a sensible fella. The vegans are ridiculous folk. like my wife sort of has a fondness for Paul McCartney because of his diet, not his music, which is always pleasant, right? And then in an interview, he's like, "Oh, I got to watch me weight, because too much cheese." And then my wife went off the cunt.
Where do you think Paul McCartney's from? Where do you think Paul McCartney's from?
Oh, I can't really do that. I try to do I can that old Ringo, like, "Hello there, John. We've had a nice day."
That's good.
That one,
That's
when
quite
you
good.
do
That's by my house.
Ringo like that. But I just okay. So Lee Mack's show, The 1% Club.
No.
It's like a game show here in the UK.
It's like loads of people in like booths and like.
Yeah, it's 100 contestants,
Yeah.
and they all go. Well, I host the Australian version, right? Okay. It's fucking weird. It's like a proper game show, man.
Yeah.
Like with lights that go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then like time for the 40% question. I'm a fucking fraud. It's like not stand up, and like people are going to go me for it. But when you get asked something like, "Do you want to host a game show?" and you're like, "Sure, I'll give it a crack." And I think I cost the show a lot of money because my dyslexia. One time I had to read the question twice, and the guy got it in the final second. And I think it cost him a lot of fucking money. I would have been a good host of like, "Is it cake?" I could have.
I fucking hate the host of that program is a awful man.
Yeah, wait.
The most boring man ever.
Yeah, he's Mikey Day, isn't he?
Yes.
From,
Is he a comedian?
You hate
he's
him.
a sketch guy.
You hate him as well.
So no.
But
is
it's
it
very
cake?
scripted, mate. It's for kids to watch. You can't be doing like cutting edge fucking
No,
stand-up.
but it's a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to do one question game show, just fat or pregnant. That'll be the whole thing. And fat or pregnant will be the show, and there'll be a person, and I won't say what gender they are because I don't want the show to be political. Right? But it'll be a person who could be fat or pregnant, but I won't say what gender. And there's one question.
How'd you win?
Just the joy of knowing.
You have to get like 10 right in a row
right,
for like
yeah,
100 grand.
Nice.
But if you get it wrong at any point, you've just lost.
Cool, I like it.
Yeah, fat or pregnant. And some of them won't be very pregnant, and some of them won't be very fat.
They're the difficult ones.
Yeah, you just see, like, you'll just look for, like, you go, I think that one might be pregnant. Don't call them that one, of course. They're still people in a way.
Oh, it's a horrible dressing room.
Casting of the show is very difficult. Like trying to get actual, because the people who you ask the question about, they don't win any prize money. They just get the joy of knowing what people think about them.
Just had a nice day out, potentially.
I always think that in like sitcoms and stuff, Joe, when someone's clearly been hired to be ugly or fat.
I
always think, how the fuck did he hire them?
Chandler's dad in Friends. Like Chandler's dad in Friends is a woman.
Yeah, a famous woman.
Yeah.
A famous woman that I used to wank off to as a kid. She was from Romancing the Stone.
I used to wank off to it as well, but only as Chandler's dad. So.
Do you know what I mean? John was like someone's
What's her
meant
name?
to be
Turner.
fat.
She was a famous, she was hot thing in the 80s.
Do you remember in Home Alone, Buzz's girlfriend, when Macaulay Culkin's going through Buzz's room?
He goes, "Woof."
And there's a picture and he goes, "Buzz, your girlfriend, woof."
Yeah.
They didn't want to upset any like girl that they had the picture of, so they got the director's son to dress up as a girl with a wig, and they took a picture so it wasn't offensive.
Well, when we did my sitcom Legit, right? So I had a scene with Ginger Gonzaga. Now, Ginger Gonzaga now, she's the lead in the new True Lies TV show. She was the second lead in She-Hulk, right? Very pretty girl. And when you write the script, it was from an old stand-up routine about how like good-looking women don't know how much a drink costs. Where ugly women, they know, blah, 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 right? And, you know, when the bill comes, the nice ones will reach for the purse. But when you say, no, I've got it, they're very quick to pull away. You know? So I was doing that thing with Ginger. And when you write the script, you just go, the character description was just ugly girl, right? And when you're writing the script, who gives a fuck? You just go, ugly girl. I turn to ugly girl. How much are the drinks here? And she's like, a beer is $6 and a spirit is $8. Like that, right? And then when you actually cast it and the girl shows up and you're like, hello. You're not that ugly, are you? Yeah.
But what's the pressure? What are you looking for? We're looking for ugly people. How do they?
They'll have terms for it, won't they? A challenging aesthetic.
Non-traditionally beautiful.
There was another episode where there was a bar that we couldn't get into, and when we did get into the bar was filled with really attractive people, and then there was this other bar that we could get into where there was just uggos in there, right? and that one, that's just extras. So they
It's just people who are never going to be a lead.
yeah, they're just people who are getting $50 for the day and a lunch, right? And so they show up, and then you send like a guy, like the AD, the assistant director, goes up, and he just goes, "You there, you there, you there, you there," and they're not told why. Right? But I
reckon they figured it out when he's like 8 into you there. I think they can look around and go,
I think there becomes a period in the middle where you're like, oh no.
And at first they'd be like, I usually get put in the back. It's just my big challenge.
Yeah. How did I get picked first? Never been picked first before.
Yeah, I've always wondered that. Are they looking for like ugly? Is that on the thing?
yeah, it will
Well,
be,
you
but
can
the
like
best way is
look. I
nicer.
imagine Paul Giamatti and Steve Buscemi don't go. Oh, maybe I'll get a good-looking role today. But it's a fucking tough business, man. You have to. I think what's worse is when you start off good-looking and as your career goes on, you go up.
Yeah.
So like Marlon Brando was the most handsome man in the world, and then it's just like fat slob on an island.
That's when they got mental, innit? When their looks were the thing that held them up, and then all of a sudden it starts going a little bit
Johnny Depp.
creaky.
Johnny Depp's going off a cliff, isn't he?
Oh, no, but he's in his 50s, man.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, he used to be like held up as like, you know.
Oh, no, there's still nothing wrong with Depp. You'd be happy to look that good.
I'd have a go of him as well. I'm just saying he's now.
No, but have you seen him? Have you seen him since the end of the trial? Because during the trial, he was like, man who used to be really good looking in his 50s at the trial. And since then, he looks like he could easily be his own dad.
He looks like no. He looks
Like he's gone.
Well, I bet you the trial aged him. You know, I've gone grey in marriage, you know, like it ages you.
Oh, that was poor old Johnny Depp.
Well, it's good
He's
of him to
still-
stand next to Alice Cooper there. That'll set him off.
Yeah, when you've been doing 2 kilograms of coke every 6 months, I mean,
Like that's
Oh,
him.
that's him there.
Yeah.
That's happened.
He looks like his mum.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone off a fucking cliff, mate. Yeah. You've just said you've gone grey a little bit in marriage. You're rocking a salt and pepper, Jim. Everything's fine. Look at the fucking state of his head.
He's fuck me. Even in court, he looked all right. Oh, that's with a filter. They aged that picture up, made him.
No,
look a bit,
they really haven't.
no, they have.
They have a little
That
bit.
is
Only
aged
slightly,
up.
though.
That is someone stuck a
but he-
rancid filter on that.
Since the court's taken it out of him, should we say that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's.
we've all been in love
and
with
also,
crazies.
and also, let's not put it back to him next to the crybaby picture. Like that's fucking 21 Jump Street days.
Yeah.
You can't go 21 Jump Street now. Give us a bit of Pirates of the Caribbean now, something comparable. You can't go back 4 decades and get into the cunt. He doesn't look as good as he did when he was 20.
Beautiful androgynous Johnny Depp at 19.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was good looking. Well, you ever heard the story? I don't know if you'll ever tell it. Oh, I don't think it'll be. I was just partying with I don't drink, but I was getting high like the other night with our good friend Tom Stade.
Tom Steve.
Tom Stade, man, I tell you what I'm going to do for you, Jimmy. I'm going to bring you some weed, man, because it's been too long. So him and Trudy comes along, and it's always me and Truds, you know. So he came along, and he was a story. But try to get the story out of him. There is because it was filmed in Toronto, and I believe that Tom Stade was the original casting over Johnny Depp for 21 Jump Street. I don't know the full story. I know a very blanket, but there might have been. I just didn't show up, man. You know, like there's something like that. There's some Tom Stade story. I don't want to say it because I might get the facts wrong. But next time you interview Stade,
That feels a lot like when I tell people I could have played for Liverpool if it wasn't for me knee. Do you know what I mean?
He's a beautiful man.
He's still a good-looking man. And he fucking drinks and smokes and fucking he's partied every fucking day of his life.
It isn't a major role either, is it? In 21 Jump Street, Johnny Depp.
It was Johnny Depp's first role as well.
His big break.
So it wasn't like Johnny Depp was a star and Tom Stade. It was like they were all unknown cast members.
Right.
So you know, like it doesn't mean that he was going to have. Well, I remember the first time I got to Hollywood, I did some auditions for some movies, and there was a movie that I was down to the final 2, and I'd been there for like 2 weeks. And it was a Mike Judge film, and I like Mike Judge, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And what's his name from Ozarks was the lead in it.
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman was the lead in it, and Mila Kunis was one of the leads. It was a movie called Extract, right? And I don't know if it did very well or whatever. It was a comedy film called Extract about these factory workers or whatever. And so I auditioned, and then I got to screen testing, and then I actually screen tested with Bateman, and I was like, I never had any acting, and I was like, fucking hell, I'm getting. And they're like, it's between you and this other guy. And then I get the phone call. They went with the other guy. And I said, who's the other guy? And they went, Ben Affleck. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What? How is it? Was Ben Affleck going for all these auditions? And they were just looking at the $20,000 option versus the $2 million option. And they were doing the calculations whether he would bring in that amount of tickets or because it was just a bit part.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's who I lost out that role to.
I had a very similar thing with who gets to date Jennifer Lopez. It was between me and Ben Affleck, and he just tipped me to it.
2-0.
No, she went back to him.
Yeah.
That's fucking...
Better the devil you know, she said. Well, we'll see.
Did she tell you that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't...
Are you still upset about J-Lo getting back with Ben Affleck? You gotta let this one go, kid.
Is that your jam, Jennifer Lopez?
I mean, it's
everyone's jam, surely.
She's getting older now.
Yeah,
it's
she looks good. Older,
she still looks good.
Let's get her compared to Johnny Depp.
You're still only getting 10 years out of her before you go, what have I done?
yeah, but you got to understand. No.
You know what I mean?
No,
like she still looks very good right now, but 60, man, you can't fucking fake 60.
No, but you've got to understand that if that's my option, like, what do you mean you can't fake 60? Look,
She's doing, that's 50.
Yeah, she's got 10 more years. Yeah.
what are we talking about?
I'd take 10
I'm
more years
guessing,
on top
but
of
I
that.
would fuck 60-year-old Jennifer Lopez.
I would fuck
any day.
I would fuck 60-year-old Jennifer Lopez, but I don't want to be in a full-blown relationship.
Oh, she's got a good pension.
No,
All right, look, okay, this is the thing, right?
you take Pirlo at 35 over Bruno Shadu at 20.
You know who's more fun at 60 is a beaten up Johnny Depp. To look like that, she has to eat clean, get to bed at 8 fucking p.m.
Yeah.
She's no fun. No fun at all. Although Christy Brinkley at 70, you'd back it and you'd go. You do it. Christy Brinkley's the best looking 70. If I have to go through the decades, that's my best one, my best looking.
Is Helen Mirren 80 yet?
She must be.
She's got to be. She's got to be.
Who is that one?
Christy
sorry?
Brinkley. You young kids, you don't bloody know Christy. Christine Brinkley.
What? I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, he's so bad at the internet.
You don't know who Christy Brinkley is?
No, he doesn't know letters. He's Welsh.
Have you ever heard the song Uptown Girl?
Is that her?
Uptown
Yeah,
Girl.
she's 69.
69.
She's 69. She's still holding on to it. She was married to Billy Joel for a while. And
Billy Joel as well.
Yeah, Oh, yeah.
Would you fuck Billy Joel?
Billy, I'm going with Billy, actually.
Yeah, she had a kid with Billy Joel, who sadly had the talent of Christy Brinkley and the looks of Billy Joel.
Where's Helen?
Helen Mirren's 77.
Yeah.
Oh, I would get to ours,
Christy
you.
Brinkley all day. All day. I'll tell you, I'm coming across as a pig on this podcast. I've just
We
come
all
in.
are.
That's what we've
I've
built
just
it
played a
on.
game called Fat or Pregnant. Now I'm judging 70-year-old women's looks.
I'll be quite happy to retire to me Poirot years with Helen Mirren and me.
Yeah.
Just sitting all day watching Bargain Hunt and fucking Murder, She Wrote with her.
Do you think she wants to do that?
Oh, yeah. I reckon she would for me.
All right, what era of the Queen would have you gone?
What?
What era of the Queen would have
So
you
we
gone?
had this conversation when she was alive.
Yeah.
The
I
thing
just
is,
look at the old Australian coins and go, yeah, that was a good time.
Good age.
I'd have been with the Queen right up until she left us, just for the story alone. To be able to turn to my mates in the pub one day and be like, I fucked the Queen back. Like the day she died, when everyone went to the pub, to be like, just so you all know, I've kept this under my hat for a while.
Why do you have to turn to your friends? Why can't you be facing them for this conversation?
Because I'm
Why
not on
is
a
there a
date
big
with them.
reveal like you're
we're
at the
sat
bar?
round. We're all sat round watching the telly, so I have to turn and be like, I
Lads.
fucked her, by the way.
Well, there is someone who fucked the Queen, isn't there? It's in the
Philip.
Crown. No, before Philip.
Oh, who was
It's in the
that?
Crown.
Yeah, but it's not, 2 years before she died.
No, it was in
Lad, lend us a tenner. Funny story about this one.
I got stuck in the UK because I was here for my sister-in-law's wedding, and that just so happened the Queen died that day that I landed, and so I was not doing comedy. I was just out here for a wedding, and then I couldn't get fucking back into America because of the funeral, and there was to be no planes flying overhead.
So
And it seems so weird because I
made a
remember,
bad
I
job
remember
of
when
that.
my mother died, and it was a race against the clock for me to get back to Australia to see her before she died. I had to race back there and get there just in time. There would have been people in this country who had to rush to another country to fucking see their dying relative, but oh no, the Queen had
Queen's
died.
died.
We can't fly over the
so
top.
fucking stupid. They cancelled comedy in most cities. They were like, oh, we can't have comedy now.
Well, my sister-in-law's wedding, there was a strict no confetti rule.
Because of the Queen.
No confetti because we're in mourning. There was to be no confetti. I reckon that's just the cunt who had to clean up made that rule. I reckon he was just down the church steps like this. Go, tell them they can't have confetti. Why? The fucking Queen. Just say the Queen.
So before mine and Dan's tour last year, separate tours, we made a bet with each other. And it was Dan could pick my walk-on music for my tour.
Yeah.
And then I got to pick his.
I had to go first, so I panicked because I was like, if I piss him off, I'm going to ruin my own tour. Because
And was it a coin toss to see who went first?
No, he was
My
on tour first.
My tour was earlier.
Why don't you just write them down simultaneously?
Ah, good thought that I didn't have. Adam?
So he picked I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
Yeah.
Right.
Who doesn't like that song?
Yeah.
Bit of fun.
I gave him the national anthem, right? Which was funny anyway, as an anti-royalist. But then his tour kicked off the week before she died.
In Belfast.
Yeah.
I did Belfast, Dublin.
And then...
And is there recordings of God Save the King? Did they whip them out right away?
No, it was a couple of months after.
Yeah.
But so the venue he was doing the weekend she died, I had to ring him and go, look, we still want your show to go ahead at the weekend. You know, you've sold the place out, whatever, but we just want to make sure there's nothing in the show that could be misconstrued as taking the piss out of the Queen. He had to be like, well, I've got a bet with me podcast co-host and I am walking on to God Save the Queen.
We said it would be like a tribute to her.
Yeah.
I also had a Catholic Northern Irish opener. That was another layer.
Did the audience enjoy it?
It nearly got pulled. The bosses of the place nearly pulled it. And then the top boss went, everyone's a professional. Let's not piss everyone off. People have bought tickets. As long as he doesn't go out of his way to upset anyone, it's fine. And so Vittorio, my brilliant opener, Vittorio Angeloni, I had to go to him, look, I can't tell you not to say anything, but if you have to take the piss, we have to move the gig because we can do this all again in 4 months' time. I don't want my mates who promote their gig there to lose the gig. He was like, I'll be sound. We'll just
Why
get
don't
through
you
it.
just let him not have the song?
No, I wanted the song because if a venue turns around and
Imagine
goes,
if Right
you
Said
can't do
Fred
that.
died, how hard it would have been for you.
But it
You know
was
she
it
doesn't
was
sing
funny.
the song.
I know, but
It was really
I
fun.
reckon she would have sung it once or twice, right?
She has to have sung it around the house.
God save
surely.
me.
No,
She's probably singing it around the house.
No, I'm too
Just
sexy.
hoovering, God save me.
Finn, did you think we were talking about the Queen singing her own anthem?
Yeah.
No, she.
I will say this about the Queen, right? Because I'm not a monarch. I came from a monarchist family. My mother loved the royal family, adored. I used to have to stand on the side of the road with flowers as a child. I was pulled from school whenever the royals visited because that would have been my. If I could have given flower, I got some flowers to Diana, but they didn't. And I was quite old by then. I was like 12, you know. And I had to do it. My mum made me. My mother would watch the royal wedding between Charles and Diana about once a month, right up until the day she died. Years after Diana died, years after they were divorced, my mum was still watching that wedding. And I imagine when we left the room, she put one leg up on the lazy boy and flicked a bean because my mother fucking loved loved monarchy. Like we had a picture of the Queen, like plates, commemorative plates, and all that shit, man. Living in Australia,
She'd have fucking hated my tour show in Nantwich.
I'm an Australian Republican. I want Australia to vote for a republic. I've campaigned for it. Like when we had a vote for it, I actually stood out and handed flyers to people. I think it's a thing that Australia really needs to do. It's
The Queen's off your money now.
what still on the coins, because this is what happened with Australia. She was only on the $5 note, right? She was still on the $5 note, and there was a way you could fold the $5 note to make her chin look like a ball sack and a rod of a cock going into a vagina, but it was just her pearl necklace. If anyone can find me an Australian, I might have one on me.
Not to do it instantly. Origami.
Hang on. No, that's Australian 100.
I've never thought about it. The amount of cocaine that has whistled past the Queen's fucking face.
Yeah. So on the Australian 5, we had the Queen. And then when she dies, they're like, this was a real debate. What, are we going to put Charles on there and replace the money in 7 years fucking time? We're not doing this. There was talk like, oh, maybe we could like just go straight to George. You know, Prince George. Like jump a couple of monarchs, right? So that the money will always be there. You know, just have a picture of him as a baby. You know when he was red-faced at the rugby and at the Euro Cup. Just that picture of him looking like he has gout.
Fucking 5-year-old.
So
On the money.
no, did you see him at the Euros? Yeah. When he was George he's fucking ready to go. I'd have him as king tomorrow, and I'd go back to the days that I'd let him cut off people's heads and all sorts of shit. But anyway, so I reckon they were going, we go straight to George, and then someone said, silly idea. How about we put an historical Aboriginal woman on the... Makes a bit of sense for Australia. Now, when we say historical... Now, I haven't lived in Australia for 20-something years. I don't know who the lady is. I'm ashamed to say I don't know who the lady is or what she's done. I'm sure she's done something important in history. She's on the money. Yeah. But... alas, they did not teach me that in high school in the 1980s in Australia.
It's been a progressive few years.
That was... We were taught about the guys coming in on the boats. That's where our history started. No one really talked more than that. There's the note.
Here's the picture.
Now try to find the folded up way to make it look like a cock going into a vagina.
This is Jim 10 minutes ago. I'm coming across as a pig on this.
All right.
No, I'm not sure.
There it is. On the left, top left now.
Yeah, they haven't done it perfectly. Okay, so if you do it, then you should fold it again so it looks like that. You see that? You have to do the extra fold. These people haven't done the fold. I know I'm not on the microphone.
I love the way you know that.
Look! On the right!
That's so good.
Yeah, and when you're a kid and you find
That's
that
the
out,
funniest thing in the world.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
That's making the Queen's neckline and jawline into a cock and balls when you're a kid. You can't improve on that.
No, that's as good as it gets.
But there was always that thing with the monarchs when they go, every 10 years, they go, let's age up. We got to age up. They're looking too young now. Age them up.
Yeah, they can't do that every year, can they? That's too much admin.
That's the good thing about American money. You just get your Benjamin Franklin just in the the old fucker.
It should always be someone dead, because then they never have to update it.
Lincoln's an easy one. You can put any cunt, as long as you got the beard right. I don't care what the picture is.
It's him with Lincoln's beard.
Well, the thing with Lincoln is, I say you watch that Daniel Day-Lewis movie or something like that.
My left foot.
Yeah, you might. Yeah. Where he played Lincoln in his last year, like just after he was assassinated and was twitching. I'm upsetting all the countries. Don't worry, Britain. I'm not just after your queen. Anyway, so the thing about Lincoln is, so you go to a lot of I go to museums and stuff on the road, or if there's some kitschy thing to see, there's a lot of animatronic Lincolns across America. Oh. There's a lot of when you go in, Lincoln will be there 420 years ago. And then the same thing with Daniel Day-Lewis, 400. We've just decided that's his voice. There's no recordings of the cunt.
Of Lincoln.
He could have been the campus.
Is there no recordings?
He could have been the campus fuck that ever lived.
Right, no, listen, we're stopping slavery now. Or I'm not doing it.
I personally like the slaves. I like the slaves. And I think they should be free.
Before we have a little break, I've got one question I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Stand-up wise, and it's probably one you've answered before and you might be a bit bored of. But I'm really interested in it as a stand-up fan and a comic myself. Coming up in the UK and with your early work, like Alcoholocaust and stuff like that, you were sort of... You developed a reputation as a comic who sort of pulled no punches and was on that side of the comedy spectrum.
Sure.
And then the gun control stuff is, to the untrained eye, seen as the total opposite side of that.
Yeah.
And I imagine that sort of affected who was coming to see your shows. And I wanted to know what that was like to have, the lefties who would traditionally not have necessarily been a Jim Jefferies fan now go, I'm going to go and see this guy. He's got the same opinion as me.
What's happened to me is, and look, I used to give more of a fuck about this, but I don't really. As long as people are still showing up to me shows, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? But I'm the extreme left and the extreme right fucking hate me on both sides. On both sides. So the extreme right because of the gun thing. The left like me because of the gun thing, but because of the misogynistic jokes and all that type of stuff, think I'm a fucking pig. And so I feel like I'm just in the silent majority. The middle,
I think that's where the comic's meant to be as well.
And it's just also, it's one of these things, it's like, I can have an opinion on guns, and that doesn't mean that I can't. But what happened, my audience showed up, and there was a lot, I'd have to say on the next, because the next tour was all just cock jokes for whatever reason, because that's just what I was writing that year, you know? And it was like, so I'm coming out, cunt fuck, and all this type of stuff. And then they're like, well, this is nothing like the gun. There was about 2 or 3 years there where I was shocking audiences again. Like I was just showing up at a comedy club. And I was like, you people have come. And what upset me about that is you didn't even watch the whole special.
They watched
you watched that 15-minute clip.
Yeah.
And you didn't watch the whole fucking, because the next routine is me dragging myself along the ground as Oscar Pistorius without legs after he shot his girlfriend, and me saying that he should have because good-looking girls have been getting away with shit for too long. Like, it got pretty dark. And then he goes up to the safe and he was going to get his guns, and then he puts his legs on, and then, you know, like that. If you just watched that bit, you would have gotten the sort of feel for the whole thing.
They need to watch the whole thing. They need to watch the 3 minutes after the gun control bit.
Yeah, you just got to watch the next bit. There's a callback in it that's horrendous. And so I'll tell you how I wrote the gun bit. Right, the gun bit was all written over the course of 3 days, and then it was completely written. So I had my sitcom legit, and in the sitcom was John Ratzenberg, really nice guy, super right-wing guy. American fella. You'll know him as Norm from Cheers, right?
Okay.
And Hemi the pig from Toy Story. You know, that sounded like more like Norm then.
Yeah.
But anyway, but so I'm sitting next to him when Sandy Hook happens. We're on set. Sandy Hook happens. We shut down production, and everyone just rushes to the it's one of those sort of 9/11-y type moments, you know. And we're like, "Fuck! All these kids have just been shot." And he turns to me and goes, "Hey, Jimmy, none of this would have happened if those teachers had guns. When will these liberals ever learn?" And I must have argued with him for 3 days. I was like, you can't be fucking serious, that blah, blah, blah. Why doesn't this happen in other countries? Blah, 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 blah. And it was just all arguments I had with the postman from Cheers.
Oh, my God.
And by the end of that, you've got every argument from the other side that you can reply to in your own bit.
I needed a person who was heavily into guns to be a friend of mine to chat with, or that routine never would have happened.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would have just read things on the internet and they think this, or watch some video. I needed a person who I could actually chat to, who was the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
But like, look, he's a great guy. He's fucking one of the funniest cunts you'll ever. I had him. He was, like he doesn't like to buy fluorescent light bulbs because he calls them Obama bulbs because they're made by the Chinese government to fucking make the Chinese take over and all that sort of stuff. So he goes to all the hardware. They don't make the ones with a filament anymore. They need to have a filament in there. Right? So he goes to the hardware stores and he stockpiles the old light bulbs because he reckons you can read better and these other Obama bulbs fuck you up, you know. And then the other person who played a dad in the show was, originally I wanted Paul Hogan to play my dad, right? Crocodile Dundee, right? And he said he would do it and then he pulled out at the last minute and I was like, we didn't have anyone cast play my dad. And then they went, do you want James Bond? So I had fucking George Lazenby, who is the only Australian to ever play James Bond, the only person to play James Bond for one movie. And fuck me.
Do you want James Bond to be your dad?
Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, I want James Bond to be my dad. Fucking George hadn't worked since on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Hadn't worked since. And so he didn't even know about digital cameras. He's like, how many fucking takes are we going to do? Surely we're out of film. And he was great. So, but if the Me Too movement was happening on Her Majesty's Secret Service, the production would have been shut down. Because George fucked a lot of women, and he'll tell you every story. There's an article about George where they're doing around Australia. They've got an orchestra, the music of James Bond, right? So they're going to play all the classic Shirley Bassey songs and all that, play the theme song, have the movie screens above it. They do these shows all the time. And so what they thought they'd do is they'd bring out George Lazenby to fucking be interviewed, as a guest for the show. But people would bring in their kids, right? And George Lazenby's like this, Ursula Andrews. Fucked her. Like every single, I once said to him, I said, George, you ever fuck any Bond girls? And he goes, it'd be easier to tell you the ones I haven't fucked. He goes, they all come to the conventions. So he's the only James Bond who shows up at the conventions. The rest of them have got fucking careers. And so, like, he wouldn't be doing the top ones, and you wouldn't be doing them in their prime. This is like an 80-year-old Ursula Andrews, like, on a whole lot of headshots on a Motel 6 in a fucking Albuquerque, right? But, yeah, he once told me a story like this. The story went like this. He goes, it was the 60s. I was the #1 male model in the world. Picture it, boys. And so me, Dan Backenall, and DJ Qualls are like, all right, this is a good story. And he goes, my dick's here. Peter Sellers' dick's here. John Lennon's dick's there. And there was naked women all over the floor. And then he just stops. And we went, and what happened? He goes, well, we fucked him, didn't we?
I don't think we're going to top that for the end of this first section with Jim. Let's have a little break, have an advert, and we'll be back in a sec.
Hello, ladies and gents. Time to tell you about my absolute favourite sponsor. It's NordVPN.
Do you like VPNs now?
I still don't. It's funny because
VPN, first of all, it like upgrades your security on your computer.
Oh.
You know, someone tries to hack you, take all your Bitcoin.
Yeah.
No, VPN's like, fuck off, lad.
Yeah.
No, that's Dan's Bitcoin.
Because you've been on webcams and stuff.
You thieving twat, right? But on top of that, you can set your location to anywhere in the world. So it helps me when I'm trying to watch like Premier League football that isn't shown in the UK for some reason. Set it to Canada, set it to Rwanda, somewhere that's showing the Liverpool versus Bognor Regis pre-season friendly.
Oh, it's a big one.
I can watch it.
El
Do you know what I mean?
Clasico.
And on top of that, right, in some countries like this country, it's illegal to buy exotic animals. But in other countries, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to buy, a poisonous python,
oh, I've already got one.
it's Peter, the have-a-word snake.
Hey.
I bought Peter from a website.
You fucking never.
In Malaysia, because they sell snakes over there. And I used NordVPN, set my location to Malaysia, and now we've got a living, breathing snake.
Careful of my arsehole, please, Daniel.
Oh, sorry. Whew. Yeah. Genuinely, I couldn't get Harry Potter the other day because they've taken it off UK Netflix.
Turkish Netflix.
I needed Albanian Netflix.
No,
If
Turkey.
you want a huge discount off your NordVPN plan and a bonus gift, it's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. You need to go to nordvpn.com/have-a-word. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yes, it is. It's the best.
And if
Peter,
you want to
do you
watch
use a VPN?
Rwandan porn,
Do you use a VPN?
Yeah. Who is it? Yeah. Do you, Peter?
no, I haven't got opposable thumbs. I couldn't possibly use a computer. Dan, you fucking idiot.
Even Peter's mean to me. Nord.
Final section. Absolute pleasure having you here, Jim. So you were telling us before, you've got a few tour dates left in the UK.
Well, I've got a lot of tour. We're only 2 days into the tour at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but anywhere, any major city we're sort of going to. We're back up to Edinburgh tomorrow. We're going to Birmingham. We have an extra show added in Manchester and an extra show added in London, and they're the ones that still have tickets.
And
available.
tickets, what's your website?
Just go to jimjefferies.com.
Do you look forward to the UK touring?
I
Because
do.
you were here for nearly 10 years.
Look, man, I came out here in 2001 and stayed till about 2010. And, a lot of comics now come up through podcasting or they come up through viral clips or something like that. I was one of the last blokes who did it through the Edinburgh Festival. And so I always, for any success I have, I thank the British for. And I identify as British in many ways. I'm a pale guy who likes to sit in dark rooms. You know what I mean? Like the rain doesn't fucking bother me. Australia, I go back, I'm covering myself in sunscreen the whole fucking time. You know, like I'm very proud to be an Australian, but I do identify with the Brits more than the Americans.
Also, when you came up to Newcastle, that was the era of a load of acts coming up from London, where I think you lived in like Muswell Hill at the time or something.
Yeah.
And there was loads of London comics would come up going, the Hyena, Newcastle. Oh, and then, and then the Frog and Bucket, Manchester, and you were always like, these are the best fucking cities. You were like, you were like Rawhide in Liverpool, Frog and Bucket in Manchester.
Oh yeah, I wanted to gig up north all the time. I moved up to Manchester, of course, for a while before me and Steve Hughes got robbed with machetes and hammers. Well, one machete, one hammer. I'm embellishing.
Do you remember I was there that night?
Yeah. You left.
Me and Seymour fucked off.
Yeah.
And when the guys came in with the machetes, you went, "Oh, these pricks fucking about."
Because one of them was skinny. I thought it was Seymour Mace coming back in. Ran in with a balaclava with a ski mask and a hammer was the first bloke, and then a machete came to me. I thought, what are these cunts coming back in?
Hang on a minute. The very famous story of you being robbed in Manchester where people broke into your flat with machetes and hammers.
Yeah.
One of your first thoughts was that it was him.
Yeah. And what's more confusing, one of them was black. I thought they've gone to a lot of effort.
It was a different time, though.
Yeah.
It was a different time. Like me and Seymour, the biggest stoner ever, would get home after half an hour. Do you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Do you know what'd be really
me
fucking
and
funny?
Steve Hughes were watching The Unforgiven. I remember that was the film. And my girlfriend was asleep next door. And yeah, I was fine. I had one person go, Steve Hughes tells that story. And I'm like, yeah, I'm Jim in the story. But yeah, we went through a whole court case. And I was talking about it on stage last night because we're in Manchester. And I was talking about it last night very briefly. I didn't do a routine on it or anything. But it just dawned on me that they got 12 years. Now, with good behaviour, probably out in 7, right? But even with bad behaviour, they're out this year. And I've told that story a lot.
Do you reckon they get Netflix in prison, though?
Oh, it would have gotten back to them.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, no way. Of course. I've told it I think on a special somewhere, I believe, and I've told it. I might not have told it on a special. I don't know. I've never watched them, but I've definitely told it on podcasts. I've told it on TV shows and stuff like that. And Steve's talked about it. And yeah, the chance of them, because I did an episode of Legit about it where we had a break in and we sort of reenacted what happened and the whole thing. And I was on the stand for a day and a half or something. Steve wasn't good on the stand. Too angry. You got there. Yes. What? They broke in. Yes. They had weapons like this, right? And then they said, and they tied Mr. Nugent up because they used my real name. We're in fucking court like this. Who's Mr. Nugent? Oh, God, Steve. Steve. You see my mail.
And you mentioned your specials there. You've got a few specials on Netflix now, but the latest one, which has just come out, is called High and Dry, and it gets the title from the fact that you're no longer drinking, but you've discovered a bit of...
I've turned to the weed. They used to call it California Sober.
Yeah.
But I think High and Dry is a better term because, it's not just California. And but I have 5 weed dispensaries within 700 meters of my house. That's how popular it is in the area.
We went to Amsterdam recently, and I had pot for the first time. And
why are they called dispensary? It sounds so.
Because they dispense
It's like a pharmacy,
it's a
isn't it?
shop, innit? It's a fucking weed shop.
It's a shop where they have to check your ID before you go in. They scan it or whatever, and then you go in. But it's so mainstream now that Pabst Blue Ribbon, who's one of the oldest beer companies out of Milwaukee, I believe.
Belted of a beer.
Yeah. Pabst Blue Ribbon now have high seltzers. They're selling weed. Pabst Blue Ribbon is selling weed. Budweiser's coming out with what? They don't give a fuck. They're just
beers.
Still illegal over there.
Yeah. And so it's in 10 milligrams. So you can have a drink in your hand. So you just have the weed drink. You can have one, And then there's Starburst ones and all different shapes and this and that. the thing that doesn't even sell in these shops is the actual weed. They still have it in jars. And everyone's like, no, I'll buy the yummy candy. Thank you very much. But it's like.
So when are you doing it? In light of a beer, are you getting to after a show and have a
What I do
something?
is when I get, I'm not high on stage. I take an edible the second. When I'm at home, I do it 2 or 3 times a week, maybe. And then, but when I'm on the road, I take an edible the second I get off stage, 20 milligrams, 10 to 20 I take. And then I do my meet and greet. Right? And so I have 100 people. I have 100 people pay $100 to meet me, right? And now I tell you when you know you've gotten too high. When someone who's paid $100 to meet you stops the conversation. They go, well, it's lovely. We have to get going. Oh, okay. All right.
20's a nice amount.
Yeah, 20's a nice amount.
Oh,
And
Finn's our in-house sort of
Potter.
Yeah, you can go silly. Like they sell like 1,000 like brownies that are 1,000.
250 milligrams is what sent me vegetarian.
Yeah. That can make you go. I had a vasectomy and I did 60, and that was too much for me. I thought, I'm going to lay in bed all day with my swollen balls and just fucking,
So what? You had a...
Fuck, man, I'm
You
not
had a
having any more
vasectomy?
kids.
Not
I've
that
had
way
2
round.
kids.
The different way round.
Right, cool.
You didn't have them and then get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're high when you get a vasectomy.
No, I had a vasectomy, and the doctor goes to you at the end. He goes, and then you have to ejaculate 30 times, and once you've done 30 ejaculations, you have to come back in with a sperm sample, and we'll find out if it's all dead because you got to clean the balls out. It takes 30 times. And then as I leave, he goes, and by the way, the record's 17 days. And I was like, I can fucking give me a VR set in a hotel room. I'll fucking on the road. I'll bang that out. And
Hang on, the record was the shortest amount of time it took was 17 days.
for someone to bring their sample back in. Yeah, and this guy's done thousands of vasectomies. And I thought, that's very manageable. I can definitely do that.
Rookie numbers.
Yeah, but what they don't tell you is the first 7 days, there's still a couple of stitches and a scab, and you don't want to pull on it. So you lose 7 days. So you've really got 10 good wank days.
3 a day.
Yeah, 3 a day, yeah. Well, you're saying that's achievable or unachievable?
Easily achievable.
Yeah, easily achievable, yeah. But here's the thing, right? So I didn't meet the 17 days. I got very close, and then I went for a tour of Australia. I went to do the game show in Australia, and so then I was there for a month. So then I was already fucking 80 wanks in before I turned in my sample. But once you do this, and then I had to come here on tour, right? And once you do the sample, you only have 4 hours to get it into the doctor and actually bring it in. And I was busy coming here. Now, I have an assistant. Now, I ask him to do a lot of things. My assistant, Jack, if you're listening, I'm sorry, mate, but the last thing I made him do before he came to Britain was give him a cup of my cum.
Oh, Jack.
I said, now, you've only got 4 hours, Jack. And even worse than that, he goes, he's very efficient. He came in with my list of things to do. You have an interview, you have a this, you have a that. You have to get to the plane by here. He goes, you have to send your sample in. So I had to go upstairs and make the sample. Oh. That's a weird feeling as well. So I had to go upstairs, come in a cup, then come down with it was still warm, right? And give it to him. But he's a good lad. He got it in on time, and and so I got to tell you, I can't no more babies. Pretty happy about that.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
This is how competitive I am, right? I want kids and I haven't got any yet. And I'm tempted to get a vasectomy now, just so I can beat that record.
Getting them reversing.
Look, you'll be doing it in Liverpool. It might be faster. This was. I remember at the end he gave me a certificate, like to hang on my wall. It said I had a vasectomy. Like you got to give it up for women, man, because when a woman gets her tubes tied, she'd never expect a certificate. But men like this, I achieved something.
My wife got a sticker right there in the surgery. Like that.
Did they?
No. But
Did your wife get her tubes tied?
Yeah.
You got kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While they did the C-section, they were like, while we're here,
Oh, yeah.
they gave us a 2-for-1.
And
Gave us a baby and then assured that we'd never have babies again.
how many kids you got?
2.
2, right? That's all you need.
No, I'm done.
You don't need any more.
Oh, yeah, totally.
No. That's all you need.
Mine's just shy of 2 years old. I've got basically a 1.5-year-old. I
Yeah.
never want another kid. Love him.
Ah,
You've got to say that.
well,
more, though.
I get in trouble all the time with my wife because Charlie's a 1.5 and Hank's 10, and my wife and 2 different women, right? And so my wife always goes, "Oh, you like Hank more than Charlie?" And it's like, no, I love them both the same, but I've known this cunt longer. like Charlie's like a new friend that I've met that I think's awesome. I met down at a pub, not much chat. You know, but Hank, me and him have tales. We have inside jokes.
And you don't have to clean his shit anymore. That does affect the
Barely.
relationship.
No, yeah. Oh, there's the 2 best days in your parenting is when they figure out how to put their own seatbelt on. That just changes your life. It's a little thing, but it's like, fuck, I don't have to put this cunt in a seat anymore. And then when they stop shitting their pants, that's a good day. Fuck, that's a good day.
I'll get there one day.
That's
Seatbelt.
I would put that up there with me playing Carnegie Hall. The day me son, the day I had to stop wiping me kid's ass, that was belter.
If mine could just stop shitting in the bath, that'd be great.
Oh yeah. The little kids
She's
in the
getting too
shitting in
old
the
for that,
bath.
isn't she?
I'm not joking. If you hear poo in the bath, everyone in that house fucking runs. Your missus, your fucking PA
Have you
Jack.
ever had like a full nappy and just thought, I'll just ignore that because she'll hold him again soon.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know, like it's underhanded.
I would definitely do that.
Oh, I've done that.
I pretended that cocaine abuse has completely killed my sense of smell just to get that. I'm like, it's all the coke, babe. What am I going to do?
My brother, now my nephew now is like, he's 25 or something, but when he drilled it into his head, the first sentence his child knew was, no, I want mummy to do it. Right? And he kept on, whenever he had time alone, no, I want mummy to do it. No, I want mummy, until the kid eventually got this sentence and he's like, fuck, what am I meant to do? The kid wants what the kid wants,
He's a
man.
mummy's boy.
Yeah. We had a game, weren't we meant to be playing a game? We were talking about baby shit. I'm for it. I'm against it.
Oh shit! Yeah, what?
We're doing overrated.
Baby shit, overrated.
Right, you can go as deep into these as you want. But Chris Deesum says, his opinion on this is overrated. Massive stag do's with like 29 lads inviting everyone you've ever met and the groom's fucking dad and uncle. Overrated massive stag do's.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Massive gatherings of any kind where you, like parties are good. A massive party's good.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as you leave a building and then you're like go to Vegas, you're going to have one cunt that wants to gamble the whole time, one cunt that's obsessed with strippers the whole fucking time, one cunt that wants to see a Cirque du Soleil fucking show, and it's like herding fucking cats.
I'm all of those people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you don't want any of those. Okay, my stag do happened in the middle of COVID, right? So all we could do is
Just you and John Cleese.
No, we got a few comics that I know, a couple of mates of mine, about 10 of us. Airbnb'd a house in Joshua Tree. We took bags of mushrooms and we just tripped balls the entire time. You couldn't get a stripper. It was illegal to get one because of distancing, right? So there was no strippers. And for whatever reason, this bat decided to just swim over the pool because the pool was lit up. And this bat just swam just for hours. That was the best stag do ever. We were all tripping on mushrooms watching this bat fly around a pool for hours. I couldn't have asked for a better time.
If and when I get married, I want my stag do to be abroad, but like I think I just want to get a villa and have a party in a villa.
10's good. 12. But when you're getting up to the 20, 25, 30.
I hate the dance.
We got married in Vegas, and because I play the casino that I actually stayed in, they gave me like their suite that Elton John and Celine Dion live in. And this had its own swimming pool. It had a massage room, a sauna, its own hairdressing salon, all that kind of stuff. And then we just got 6 friends and we spent all the money we would have spent on a fucking big wedding, gambling and fucking eating good food and just hanging out with our mates. And it was the fucking best. And because I'm Australian, my wife's British, and we were in America, we didn't have to fly relatives in or anything like that. Everyone watched on Zoom. It was the best wedding ever. It was one of the best weekends of my life.
That sounds great. Lynch says, overrated, underrated, wearing socks to bed.
What?
Delete the email.
That's
Send
overrated.
that to
You
the police.
shouldn't do that. Your feet need to air out.
What the fuck's he
You
on
wear
about?
Yeah.
socks in bed?
Yeah,
Sweaty
what, on a
cunt.
winter's night?
What?
You wear socks in bed?
No, you don't.
Absolutely.
No, you don't.
No.
No.
I can, listen,
Can't believe it. Do you put socks on to get in bed?
no, no. I'm just,
You don't take
you
that
just
day's
leave your
socks
ones
on?
on from the day. That's even grosser. Do you have
Yeah.
special bed
Whoa.
socks?
Whoa. I'm sorry. Look,
No,
this
you
is a
don't
friend
do
and
it.
business partner. I'm not fucking accepting this.
I
Okay?
don't put my Barcelona away socks on
That's
to
better.
get in
That
bed.
would be better.
So
Nah,
you
if it's a
get in
cold
bed
night.
with the socks you've had on all day in the winter.
Sometimes.
You're very successful now. You're on a great. Turn the heating up a bit.
Oh,
Splash
no
it
one
on-
wants
on
that.
a cold night after I get the hot water bottle out of there and fucking the bedpan. Like, fucking hell. Socks
Well,
on bed.
It's like wearing
You
gloves
need
to
them
bed.
when you walk to the outhouse.
Hang on. Do you wear anything else?
No, just socks.
You must
Your dick needs to breathe.
Hang on. I'm coming around now. Are they knee-high ones?
Yeah, stockings. Yeah. Imagine if I
Dirty
just
bitch.
wore fucking gloves to bed like Mario Balotelli.
I don't think it's any more ridiculous to wear gloves to bed than it is to wear socks to bed.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same.
That's going to be a very...
Hands are just the feet of your arms.
Another classic from Adam. They'd
Yeah.
be very jizzy gloves after like one night.
So if you get up, if someone bagels your house, you're getting woke up with like Pringle socks on your dick out.
Slipping around and
yeah.
his socks on.
If someone burgles my house, I'm straight in the shoes. I'm fucking chasing the cunts down.
Shoes, socks, and nothing else.
And dick out.
No,
That's how you scare him.
I'll tell you what happens if someone breaks into your house. You go, yes, what do you want? Okay.
Fuck off, Seymour and Dan.
Oh yes, we've got some in the eyes here. Do you want to show us that?
Oh, I'll have them for bedtime. Thank you. There's nothing I could do about that.
Oh, I'm telling you, they are coming home.
They are
with
yours.
Me.
They are yours.
Simon says, overrated, in his opinion, bum play. I know everyone reckons it's ace, but I'm not into it, feeling like I'm being licked out.
There is absolutely nothing better in the human experience than get your bum all licked.
No, I don't like it. I've had hemorrhoids for the last 20 years.
So have I.
And my arsehole is a fucking car wreck of a fucking thing. I've had hemorrhoid surgery. I get them rubber banded now. I go in the I know my proctologist so well that he's doing my podcast in a couple of weeks. I'm not kidding. Right? And I don't want fucking just for your comfort, I don't want the person licking my fucking arsehole. Plus I've had it done and it's like it's all right. I'd rather have me balls sucked on. And so,
What are you talking about? It's all
Ball in mouth?
Yeah,
no.
not like pressure, but a nice licking.
Yeah, and lick, not a suck.
not a suck.
Not a
A
suck.
nuzzle in the bag, but don't grab
I
the
once
ball.
asked Carl what he would like a woman
no.
to do to his balls, and he put it so perfectly, and I'll never forget it. Carl, what are women supposed to do with a man's balls?
Take the weight off them.
That's it.
Just
That's
cup,
all
just
you
cup,
need.
Just cup
Just-
them. Take them.
He's got really heavy balls.
I like my balls fucking slapping against the woman. You can be rough with my balls, girls.
Oh no.
Speedbagging.
I'm married now. You can't be rough with me balls.
Oh no! Like
I tell you, it was at Vegas at my birthday. My wife, very nice lady, and she had a couple of drinks, and she went, maybe for your birthday. This is totally out of character. She goes, maybe for your birthday we could get a prostitute. And I should have played it cool. I got overly excited and found a webpage a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, when it's a bookmark.
Yeah. And she goes, would we have to get condoms? I'm like, no, they bring them. She's like, how do you know? I don't know.
Oh, God.
what's the next one?
So I blew that.
I know this next underrated is going to... Matthew Foley says, underrated, overrated, water parks.
Oh, I love a water park.
Who doesn't love a water park?
Underrated. And like water park in Britain, That would be
There's one in
overrated.
Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh, no, hang on. I honestly don't think it's fair to think of a water park in Britain when you're doing...
No.
No.
No. A big, luxurious one in California or Florida.
Siam Park in Tenerife.
Yeah, those ones where you're like in a tube and the floor just falls away from you.
Yeah.
Like that.
Better than theme parks.
Better than roller coasters because you're not strapped in and it feels more wild. And I love
Come on, Boris.
I love me a roller coaster.
Question. Can I wear socks to the water park when we
You
go?
wear the special water socks.
Yeah, you can wear those water shoes. No, you wear those little shoes, those little the wetsuit shoes because the concrete's hot afterwards.
Oh, aquatic paedophile shoes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because the concrete's hot.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to wear your sliders on the... You can wear sliders walking around the park, but then you have to walk up the concrete stairs without your sliders on
And then get them at the bottom.
and get them at the bottom, which is bollocks. You buy the special water shoes. They're about 12 quid, and you can wear them all day because they're tied on.
Next question, because we're going to Tenerife in June and we're going to the water park. Is the reason we're all going to Tenerife is because he loves this water park so much. I am bald, very shiny, baldy.
Yeah, you'll go down faster, yeah.
No. What am I wearing on my head?
A swimming cap?
No.
Sunscreen.
But a skin-coloured one?
Oh, God. So
Like
I
at
look
the
like
water park, you
like
just got
Steve
to
Austin.
wear sunscreen, man. That's all you can do.
Right.
You're going to have to lather up in 50 years.
Just wear exactly what you would wear at the beach.
Right.
No, because the water reflects. You get burnt easier in the water, don't you? You need to lather up.
Yeah, but this is the thing about the water park. You're never in the water. You're in the water for like 5 seconds. You're lining up most of the time. Yeah. Unless you get those wave pools. There's one in one of the Disneyland parks. It's called Thunder something or what. It's in Orlando.
It's in Busch Gardens.
Atlanta, and it's one of the scariest experiences you can do in anything. Like you hear this crack, and then the wave comes, and then just 20 kids are flying towards you. You'd have a head injury. Like it's the fucking Wild West, the fucking wave pool. There's
Is this a family trip or are you just going with the boys?
No, I'll go with my kids. You're going. You got kids.
No. We're going to this water park as a works trip.
Oh no. I take my kids now, but I used to go before then as well. But
I'm so excited.
But I even like a cruise ship that has a water slide on it. That's how those big cruise ships. You go, has it got a water slide on it? I'm fucking in. I can do that all day. Underrated. They should be over and above other theme parks.
We'll do one bit of advice.
Have you ever been to Wild Waddies?
What?
Wild Waddies is the water park in Dubai.
I've been.
I went there 20 years ago. There's like people in burqas doing it, man. Wetsuit burqas.
He's not even messing.
Yeah.
So I can wear a burqa.
You can wear a burqa.
No one's going to be able to say that, oh, you can't wear that. I'll just convert to Islam in the morning and then I'll be fucking...
Just transition and wear a wig. You don't have to go convert to Islam. You don't have to be that extreme. Just cut your dick off and wear a wig and you'll be fine.
Don't go too extreme.
You've already got the kids, man.
It's absolutely fucking wild, by the way. Yeah. Like, obviously, you never want to be surprised by anyone from any like minority group, and obviously over there they're not the minority group, but you never want to be surprised. Be like, fucking hell, you like water slides as well, but it does take you back a bit. No, but seeing a woman in a burqa wetsuit going round the fucking.
That's how good water parks are. That you would do it in a burqa. Like think about how uncomfortable that would be to be in the water in a burqa. And it's like a special wetsuity burqa. The head's not wetsuity. That's just the normal cloth. But then the rest of it's wetsuity.
Right, one bit of advice and then let's get out of here. Jim, this has been absolutely fucking brilliant. And I'm chuffed that you've not done anyone else's podcast. That's my favourite bit. Stevie B says, bit of advice here. Wagwan, lids. Been married to my missus for a few years now, and I want to keep things fresh. Been watching pegging videos and think it could spice things up in the bedroom. I've got the gear, but no idea how to broach the subject with her. Is it too big an ask, or should I have a word with myself and just go for it?
Well,
love the show and Adam's special. That's Stevie B from Tulsa.
How would you go for it?
From Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So, okay, Stevie B from Tulsa. First of all, I didn't know it was called pegging until a couple of years ago. That passed me by. I thought that was when you saw porn where people put a lot of pegs on themselves. You know, when there's like loads of pegs on their nipples? I thought, that must be pegging. But as for putting a strap on in your ass, how do I broach the subject? Leave the strap-on out. Just leave it on the bed or in a place she can
your
find
arse.
it.
Doesn't that look like you've used it with someone else?
No. Leave it in its box. It's brand new. It doesn't come just fucking free. Leave it in its packaging.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, we've got one here.
Steve, could you get one out?
Yeah, leave it in the packaging where she can find it and let her bring it up.
Or
What's
gift it to
this?
her for the birthday. Happy birthday.
I think it's absolutely wild to have already invested in a
Why
strap.
have you guys had to bring this out like I've never seen a strap on? You think I've lived on this planet for 46 years and never seen a strap on?
No, this is how we end every episode.
Oh, all right, I'll get ready.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think it's wild to have invested in a strap-on before you've broached the subject. I just hope he used lovehoney.co.uk. You know what I mean?
That's what I'd use.
Well, what you do is you go like this. So you use like one of those web pages, and they're always giving you a free gift if you put in a special podcast code or something like that. Just say that they went to. You got an advertiser who's okay. Just say you went to that thing, put in the special code. I got a free gift. What was your free gift? It turns out to be a strap-on. Well, so there's two ways. You go, maybe we can use this, and your wife might say, "Oh yes, you can watch me fuck a girl with a strap-on." Win-win. Win-win. You're already in the winners column. Or you could go, and then you could jokingly go, "Oh, you can fuck me in the ass."
That'd be weird.
And then you just sit there waiting for a response. Oh, that would be crazy.
As you're pulling your pants down. Wouldn't that be fucking mental? No.
No, I wouldn't.
Thanks for pulling.
If I was a gay fella, I would have had to retire my ass 20 years ago because of the hemorrhoids. I'd have to be a top all day. I could never be a bottom. I'm nothing against getting my ass fucked, but my hemorrhoids are too bad.
You could still suck people off.
Look, my arsehole's so bad that if I was in jail, they'd only rape me once. They would, if I was in jail, they'd go, the amount of blood and pus that came out of that thing, I'm not doing it again. And I know how my mental state is. I'd be upset by that because I wasn't desirable anymore.
Oh, come on, dude.
And I'd be like this, why not? It'll be all prolapsed out like a chimp.
I don't think we can top prolapse Jim's arsehole
No,
to end
we
the next episode. I just don't
can't.
think we can do that.
Jim, we've got you a little gift. We've got you at an Australian far.
Okay. I'll fold it like a maestro. You can do it very quickly. See, a lot of people do just the straight up like that, but that's too big a dick. You want to go a bit down like...
Show it to that camera
the
right in
camera.
front of you.
You want to
Jim.
do it a bit... Oh, there's too much chin there. I've given too much ball sack. There's too much chin. There you go. And you want to fold it down like that.
While Jim is folding that up, I will
There we
say,
go.
please make sure you buy tickets to his extra dates in the UK. They're at jimjefferies.com.
That's the perfect cock and balls into a vagina. Bit of Australian culture for you.
Jim's new special on Netflix, High and Dry, is available right now, and his podcast, I don't know about that, is available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube as well. Jim, it's
In
been
the
an absolute
links.
pleasure.
Thanks, lads. I appreciate it.
Adam's tour is next week. Is on sale next week.
Friday the 17th, it goes on general sale, goes on Patreon pre-sale on Monday the 13th. Biggest venues I've ever done: Manchester Apollo, Liverpool Empire, a load of dates in London at Leicester Square Theatre, Pavilion in Glasgow, Newcastle City Hall. We're going big, so come out and see us.
I've got a new material night in Manchester at the Edge Theatre in Chorlton on Sunday, the 2nd of April. There's only a few tickets. They'll go quick. Jamie Hutch is coming on, hopefully a few more legends. Just doing new material. The link will be in the description.
Finn, do we have a song?
Oh, can I also just do one more plug?
Yeah,
on
of
the tour, normally I pick like sort of up and coming comics to open up for me and all that stuff. But I picked Andrew Maxwell and Glenn Wall, who are two of the greatest comics that have ever fucking lived.
Yeah.
So even if you don't like me, come along to the show because I've got two better comics than me opening for me.
They are two of the best to ever do it.
Glenn has been on Have a Word twice. Andrew, I'm going to approach to get on
need
soon
him on.
because it's long overdue that we invite Andrew Maxwell on because he'd be excellent on this.
I'll talk to him today.
Yeah,
Nice.
Please do. Wonderful stuff. Finn, who is this week's musician? Obviously, you only get this on the audio. You don't get it on YouTube. But if you're an audio listener, got a song for you.
Just before we introduce this one, please go and stream my new single, Take a Ride. The live version that we recorded in here will be out on Monday. So if you're listening to this after Monday, go and check that out.
Nice.
This week, we've got a local band who myself and Carl talk about quite a lot, Red Rum Club. Simon, the bass player, is a big fan of the podcast, and they're great. Check them out.
They're massive as well, yeah.
This is their single, Vanilla.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jim. Thanks, man.
No, thanks, lads.
Love y'all.